Hello everyone and welcome to the P1 Broadcasting Channel. It's Murph, it's Sam, and it's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series, live tonight from the Charlotte Roval. In a repeat of last night, we're going to be doing 67 laps here. Stages at 20 and 40. The finale, 27 laps to decide it. It is the first race of the round of 8. So we've got 8 drivers who are set and ready to continue to vie for the playoffs. Speaking of those playoffs, it is those 8 drivers are going to be Ryan O'Donoghue, Kendall Paul, Chuck Sweeting, Chad Dulabon. Those are your top 4. Those are the drivers that would be advancing to the championship round in Phoenix. Chad Winstead, David Dunwoody, Justin Osterman, and Jeremy Dunwoody round out your top 8. James Hodgson, Sean Anderson, they are on the outside looking in, and there is a big points gap between Ryan O'Donoghue and Kendall Paul, and there's also a pretty big gap between Chad Dulabon and Chad Winstead. So the Chad and Chad show have a pretty big gap between the two of them. The weather here tonight at Charlotte, it is ideal for racing. 73 degrees on the track, 73 in the air, 77 on the track. Breath of wind out of the west at 7 as the drivers prepare to do battle on this 17-turn Roval. Do want to thank everybody for joining in as we continue to get ready for this exciting AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series race. My partner in crime, Sam Crow, having just a little bit of audio difficulty. Sam, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
You can hear me. So last night...
Yes, that means your response means you can hear me.
Yay! So last night we saw a maiden win. James Hodgson pulled it out over Greg Evans, Kendall Paul, and a host of drivers who were in a hot pursuit. We kind of saw a wild race last night in the Xfinity show, Sam. What are you expecting to see tonight?
I was really pleased with some of the action that we saw last night. Some drivers jumped out to a quick lead, like Ryan O'Donoghue jumped out to a quick lead. It seemed like he kind of burnt the rear tires down a little sooner than he anticipated, and then drivers were able to catch up with him even before the end of the stage. So there was a lot of good racing throughout the field, as we saw. Even in the back of the field, there was quite the spirited interaction between a couple of drivers that are actually here tonight. I thought the racing as a whole was very good for a Roval, but my expectation doesn't change for tonight, because what you have is the same surface, same turns, same temperamental trucks that are just as temperamental as the Xfinity cars were. Maybe not quite as loose. They are turning lap times a little faster than the Xfinity or the Grand National cars did. But they are on cold tires. These trucks can be a handful, especially coming off the pits or on starts and restarts. And boy, didn't we see a Donnybrook on the last restart of last night's race when the 2 leaders spun themselves out of contention.
Yeah, we did. Now, Greg Evans is not here tonight. He has been replaced by Logan Edwards, the old narc brain, right now. The old narc brain is here. Matt Sisler is back. Sisler, of course, was one of the 2 that participated in the synchronized spinning last evening. We've got Billy Elwell in the house. Say hey, Lewis Hayes is back in the 40 Racewear truck. 14 trucks signed in this evening. It's one of those, same where you're getting late in the season, you're getting deep into a playoff run. A lot of guys, especially if they're not road racers, have decided maybe to give this one a pass.
Oh, there's no question that drivers they'll turn and run from road course racing, especially the Roval, just simply because of how difficult of a track it is, and it can wear on a driver's nerves, so to speak. But you had mentioned Matt Sisler. Matt Sisler is not in the playoffs, and he's not running for a position for a championship. But Matt Sisler is here. He's on a mission, and he was on a mission last night, and things got away from him, and he failed to fulfill that which he had come to do. So look for Matt Sisler. He's wanting to fulfill something tonight, and I look for him to really push that truck to its limits. even though there are fast trucks, Logan Edwards is an incredible road course racer. Ryan O'Donoghue is a steadfast staple in the top three, usually week in and week out. James Hodgson won the event last night in the Grand National car. There are some fast drivers, but it's going to be interesting to see how those playoff drivers and Matt Sisler work around each other tonight for that win.
It most certainly is. We don't have time to complete the joke because the streak is once again ended. Logan Edwards is fastest in practice over Ryan O'Donoghue, and last night's winner, James Hodgson, is third quick, and we are getting ready to go for qualifying. All of the drivers nearly in the top 10 are faster than the track record. Brent Cruz owns that track record, minute 26, 666. Almost everybody in the top 10 here tonight is quicker than that. And so this is going to be a fast field, Sam, as we get ready to see who can sit on the pole. We saw James Hodgson make that run last night in a surprise, what I would term a surprise. So let's see if there's another driver out here that can take that top spot.
I don't believe that James Hodgson was actually the fastest in practice in the Grand National car last night. I believe that Ryan O'Donoghue held that particular position in the practice speeds, but it was James Hodgson that actually came out on his hot lap and was able to secure that pole. James was so eager about it. He ran the first few laps of the event. He just was really kind of over driving. He said in his post-race interview last night after winning the event, he said that he was over driving, and then someone on his team mentioned that the track temperature had been going up, and then he realized that he needed to make adjustments so that he would not be over driving the corners, and that all those adjustments worked to his favor because he took that forward facing 88 right to victory lane, and by a large margin, 10 seconds or more, he won that event.
Yes, he did, riding on the roof of the old narc brain, Logan Edwards. This is Logan Edwards is kind of the AMA road course specialist. We'll see him tour through turns 1 and 2 on the oval. This is, I believe, turns 7 and 8 on the road course. That's right, Sam? 8 and 9, rather. He gets down to the first chicane. If you watched last night, you're well aware that Mike Rigney and I are big fans of chicanes, and there's one of the two that are on this race course. He'll go through the turns 3 and 4 on the oval, which is 13 and 14 on the Roval, down to the second chicane, Sam, which is just another bus stop right here on the front stretch. Getting ready to set up. It bypasses the first part of the dog leg, or first part of the double dog leg. There's the start-finish line. You see Barney up in the flag stand, and we'll get a lap in here at the Roval, riding in the passenger seat with Logan Edwards.
Yeah, these trucks have a little bit more stability on them than the Grand National cars did last night. That car was extremely loose, and the temperatures were not in favor of it getting any better. But the track temperature is very reasonable right now for these trucks, and that's why you're seeing some of the lap times that you're seeing in the 124s. It is extremely fast, in my opinion. These drivers are really pushing for everything that they can get out of these vehicles. So Logan Edwards is navigating himself around a track that is conducive to high qualifying speeds as he goes through the oval 1 and 2 coming down the backstretch.
Yes, it is. One thing I noticed in the telemetry, Sam, Logan Edwards, yesterday we saw drivers mostly using second gear through the infield portion. If my eyes aren't deceiving me, Logan Edwards was in third gear for quite a bit of that run.
Yeah, the gearing is a little bit different here in the truck. So you're really wanting to eliminate as much wheel spin. Those rear tires, you want to eliminate as much wheel spin as you can off of those rear tires so that you can continue to have the bike coming off the corners and get that forward momentum working in your favor, because really that's where you make up a lot. The two areas that you make up your speed in the trucks and the Grand National cars is being able to get back on the throttle quicker, and your braking. Just very probably one of my biggest weaknesses is that I usually utilize the brake a little too much, and some drivers have brought it to an art to be able to use a lot of brake very quickly, get off of the brake, and then modulate the throttle to be able to come off the corner. And those are two key issues of getting good lap times here.
Yes, they are. There goes Logan Edwards. He's out of the hairpin, turn number 7. He's going to blast through turns 1 and 2 on the oval here at Charlotte. This is, to my thinking here, Sam, going to be a pretty quick lap.
Well, he's already turned a 124.9, and so that was the first lap. He's not made any errors yet. If he gets an off track or just rushes a wall, it could nullify the lap. But Logan is very good on the long runs. He's proved at the other road course races just how good he is. And we'll see if... Oh, he lost it right there. He's going to get right into that chicane and lose it. But he's still third fastest with his other lap.
Yes, he is. Logan Edwards, the first lap, good enough to put him third quick right now. Let's hop on. Hop over and take a look at Matt Sisler. Now, Sisler is on his first lap in the Three Birdies Chevrolet. He is going through the hairpin. That's turn number 7. Do want to correct the record. I was being facetious. Mike and I are not fans of chicanes, although I would argue I'm good with a solid hairpin every now and then, especially if they connect 2 straightaways, Sam.
Somehow I just don't. I think you're not even a fan of a brake pedal, so it's just...
To be fair, when's the last time you saw me use a brake pedal?
Well, I rest my case. Prosecution rests, Your Honor. Now, Sisler's coming through this very tricky portion of the racetrack on this last chicane. You can cut that first corner very tightly, but that second one is the curbing there is extremely lifted, and it upsets the truck a whole lot when you're trying to get some speed going down the front stretch.
Yeah, we'll get on the nose of Matt Sisler and kind of talk to the fans at home about these curbs here at the Roval. The ones you see there with the red and white striping, those especially, they're either flat or they're raised a little bit. Those are not the curbs that upset the trucks here tonight. The curbs that are going to upset the truck are going to be the turtles. The turtles are raised, they are blue, and those are the ones that you see lift these racing machines off the surface. They can turn you loose, Sam. If you're an open wheel car, they can damage the car by launching it over the air. So you got to be...
Oh yeah, and the NASCAR Cup cars, when they go over those turtles, it literally grabs the underside of the car and disrupts the car. Actually, it can mess with the tires making contact to the asphalt. It can throw the car into a different direction. They're considerably dangerous when it comes to racing these road course races at the Roval, of just disrupting the flow of the car and the trajectory of it as well.
They are indeed, and you saw one of those turtles right there at the exit of the final chicane, Sam. They put a turtle there to keep drivers from cutting that, but the end result is if you hit it wrong, my man, you are going to go for a ride. Matt Sisler,
no question,
fourth quick in the Three Birdies Toyota, and there he goes. He's going to continue to circulate, Sam.
Well, he's trying to see if he can top the last lap that he just turned.
Right, it won't.
Right now he's got it. Yeah, I don't know that he'll complete it, will he?
He should have time to complete it. It's just a matter of, has he done 2 laps already? That's the bigger question.
I see what you're saying. Because on my screen it shows lap 2 in the server.
Gotcha. He should be able to complete this one.
Yeah.
he should be able to
Boy, they
complete this. We've got a
really
minute.
they get every ounce of real estate that they can get coming off that chicane there on the back stretch. They do everything they can to cut that corner off as much as possible. Again, here he comes into the last chicane. See how abrupt and how he has to catch the truck. And he does better his last lap by a tenth, so he's at 124.5.
Yes, he did, Sam. Matt Sessler jumps up to third quick on the board.
Look who is at the top of the chart right now.
I know, none other than Kendall Paul. And Kendall Paul is not a noted road racer. He's an accomplished endurance driver for certain, sure, Sam. But he is not somebody that you would think, oh my gosh, he's a threat to win on a road course. Great lap for Kendall Paul, and that's going to put him right on the pole position.
I mean, you've got less than 7/10 that separate the top 5 drivers. Less than a second and less than 7/10 that separate all the top 5.
So we're going to do this in time first, and then, Sam, I will absolutely show the mile per hour. We had that question last night. Kendall Paul is the pole sitter, 1 minute 24.245. He is going to be flanked by Ryan O'Donoghue in second. Matt Sessler, James Hodgson make up row 2. Logan Edwards, the old Narc brain, he'll start next to Justin Osterman, Mr. Excitement in the 53. David Dunwoody, Chuck Sweeting will make up row number 4. Jeremy Dunwoody, Colby Pierce are on row 5. Colby Pierce starts the group that did not qualify or did not set a time. Billy Elwell, Say Hey Lewis Hayes, Liam Anderson, and Jalen Story, none of whom took time, and I do not believe Jalen Story is going to take the start, Sam.
I do not see him in the server. He is showing in the server, but he is flagged.
And there it is for miles an hour race fans. 90.
Yeah, it says that actually this team has been disqualified and is no longer being scored in the session for Jalen Story.
It's a tough break for Jalen Story. We'll see if we can't get some sort of information from the officials before we leave here tonight. But there's your front row: Kendall Paul and Ryan O'Donoghue. 96 miles an hour, the average speed for Kendall Paul circulating this race course.
A lot of drivers in the field tonight. Their liveries are sporting paint schemes of some kind, of some sort. October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so really kudos to the drivers that are taking time to honor those who have dealt with such a vicious and terrible disease.
Yes, indeed. David Dunwoody had checked in earlier. He said he feels his truck is pink and he feels weird, but there's nothing weird about supporting such a great cause. Meanwhile, want to report that Colby Pierce and Billy Elwell will receive black flags on the start. Hello to Carrie Elwell. Welcome in, Carrie. We're ready to go racing just like you are. One more time, it is going to be 67 laps here for the Queen City 250 live on the P1 Broadcasting Channel. You are watching the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. As a reminder, if you haven't already done it, make sure you smash that like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1, get yourself notified of all future iRacing action. And there has been a lot of iRacing news, Sam, of late. The first one of those is that we are 10 subs short of 1,400. So if you haven't subscribed to P1, by all means, please do. Before we end the broadcast tonight, let's get to 1,400 before the week is out. But some big iRacing news. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about some of the history of the Roval here. Sam has been here in its original iteration, which
yes,
That's how much Sam
Yes,
loves the
back when I
Roval.
was younger, yeah, back when I was younger, I remember going out. I remember drag races down the pit lane at Charlotte Motor Speedway. There were actually NHRA events that were held on the front stretch down the pit lane. I remember going to drag races at Charlotte Motor Speedway back many years ago.
Now, see that sign right there on the chicane, Sam, looks like either Mike or I put it there. It says "Oh poo," and there's the chicane entry. I think that that's a nod to my love of
Yeah,
chicanes.
it's just a friendly sentiment to both of your love for chicanes and racetracks.
That's right. I am a fan of chicane, Sam.
I said you love them. I said that you have a love for them, and we're getting ready to go green. The drivers are all lining up. The lights are out on the Mustang pace car, and now we're coming through three and four to this very unusual starting place on the racetrack, which is another highlight for Mark, and he loves it so much. But we're coming to green.
There they are. We're going to start this thing by filing through the chicane. They really ought to not start the race through there. But there they go. The green flag is out. Kendall Paul, Ryan O'Donoghue reach out and race down toward the heartburn turn. Turn number one. It's Kendall Paul on the outside. And he will clear Ryan O'Donoghue, who's going to slide in second. And immediately following him, the zebra-looking forward-facing 88 of James Hodgson. Everybody's made it through turns 1, 2, 3, 4. Now down to turn 5, and Ryan O'Donoghue has gotten back around. Kendall Paul move O'Donoghue to the lead, Sam.
Oh, it's getting interesting. Logan Edwards with a little bit of an aggressive jump there. Matt Sisler did not get off the line very well, but he's been able to manage and get back into a race type competitiveness with James Hodgson. But Logan Edwards looks like he's not going to settle in right here in fifth place. He wants to get up to the front, and behind him is another eager driver that we refer to affectionately as Mr. Excitement, Justin Osterman.
Yeah, Justin Osterman has linked himself into this front group. It is a six truck, breakaway, Sam. Ryan O'Donoghue has pulled a little bit away from Kendall Paul, but positions 2 through 6 are really more or less together. Do want to point out that Colby Pierce, and there's Colby, as well as Billy Elwell, are going to have black flags to start this event, and so I would expect to see them hitting pit road at any moment.
Yeah, here comes Billy Elwell right now. He's already announced his pit stop, and then just in front of him is Colby Pierce. It looks like both drivers are going to get it slowed down well in time for. Now, the problem with this is that because they are going through the pit area, there is a good possibility both of those drivers could go a lap down before the end of the stage.
It is possible they won't lose the lap just with the drive-through, or even a 40-second hold. But the pace differential is such that they might lose it. They might lose it here just on.
Speed alone.
Yeah. Billy Elwell is going to have a hold. He is in his pit box, and so
he must have sped then.
Well, the penalty might have been a hold, Sam. That is possible. We'll keep going along. Are there any other corners you think that anybody thinks out there in the crowd that should be marked with an emoji? You've got the poo emoji here on the backstretch at Charlotte. Are there any other corners in racing that deserve an emoji? Let us know. Quite frankly, there are quite a few I think that could deserve emojis, and they're not all on road courses.
Well, I for one vote for turn 1 at Coda.
Very good. I would like to denote the first corner or the second corner at Indianapolis with an airplane, because I seem to get myself upside down there quite a bit. Now, if you want to see me get upside down at Indianapolis, tune into the Dark Horse Series finale. That's coming to you live here on P1 Sunday night at 8 o'clock. I guess I better know when I'm supposed to race, eh, Sam?
If you're going to be a part of it, it would help.
And that's not all, really, Sam. You've got that's not really all. You've got a host of fun coming at you. We're not doing anything Saturday here at P1. It is Petite Le Mans. I could not get I could not get Gary to allow us to show the Indy Alliance Racing LMP2 point of view on P1. I don't know that our fans would enjoy the language. It is, as Mike says, a family-friendly stream. Sometimes the language in that car can get kind of heated. So, but I'm sure I'll put it up on my personal Facebook or something like that. Fans can come check it out. Monday night, past, present, and future of IndyCar racing. We're going to start with the present cars, the IR18s. They're gonna be broadcast by Jacob Collins. I'm going to be out of town on a business trip, Sam, so I'm going to miss everything Monday and Tuesday. Then,
oh wow,
yeah, they're going to go. Jacob's going to have that at 8, 9 o'clock. You got Mike Rigney in the Onyx Racing League. Lotus 79, Sam. I'm looking forward to watching that one. I'm not going to be able to race it, but I enjoy why those cars are wild and they're nuts and they're crazy. And next week he's taking those cars to Michigan. And that's going to be an incredible show. So tune that in at 9.
It's going to be a barn burner. Those drivers, it's amazing the show that they can put on when the draft package is in play, and you've got a surface that gives you multiple lanes that you can run. And I'm just telling you, if you want to watch a good event, that's going to be a good one. Just like what we see here at the AMA series on Thursdays and Fridays. It's going to be really good in the Onyx Racing League.
It is, and then we're gonna end that with the future. They're gonna have the Indy Next series, Sam. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen at 10. Of course, Tuesday night you've got the flagship broadcast, followed immediately by Indy Next. That's at 8. That starts at that series of shows starts at 8:15. Mike said it's going to be nuttier than squirrel poo. Meanwhile, Logan Edwards made a dandy of a move down the inside of James Hodgson, the forward-facing 88. Moved Logan Edwards into 4th. That's going to put.
He swings it wide. I think he got the wall there in turn 1.
It was close. Everybody keeps moving in the right direction, though, Sam. So we're in good shape there.
Sisler had just got by the lap before. He got by Hodgson, and Logan Edwards tried to fit himself in with that, but he fell back in line behind Hodgson and made that pass later. That's really going to be the primary struggle for some of these trucks that are have similar pace, is finding the right places to overtake, especially if you really feel like you have a truck that's faster. The opportunities for passing are few and far between here when you have a driver or another team that's around you that is running very equal pace on the racetrack. So it's going to be a premium, and sometimes it may even be where drivers are going to take chances that they normally wouldn't take.
100%. If you're this top 4, O'Donoghue, Kendall Paul, Matt Sisler, and Logan Edwards are more or less running identical lap times. James Hodgson in the forward-facing 88. He has moved back into the 5th spot. He's being chased by Justin Osterman. They've fallen back a little bit from Logan Edwards. And then you've got a 6-second disadvantage all the way back to David Dunwoody, who is running along in 7th. He just said he wants a top 10 tonight. And so there's Dunwoody. He's got Chuck Sweeting in 8th right behind him. And then the rest of the field is very spread out. Liam Anderson, he's 6 seconds behind Sweeting, all by his lonesome. Another 5 seconds back to say, hey, Lewis Hayes. There's the 40 racewear machine of Lewis Hayes. Colby Pierce is a couple of seconds behind say, hey, Lewis Hayes. And that's a great drive for Pierce, because Colby Pierce, to be completely fair, he had a drive-through penalty to start this race.
Yes.
And so he's caught all the way back up to say, hey, Lewis Hayes. Jeremy Dunwoody is 30 seconds behind Colby, and Jeremy just trying to keep everything moving in the right direction, and that can be a challenge all over that turtle. He knocks down the front wall with the right front, so Jeremy Dunwoody is going to have to stay off the turtles through the chicane, Sam. You don't want to hit the turtle at the end of the chicane.
Any turtle is bad news at this particular racetrack. David Dunwoody had actually been making the comment that how excited he was for his finish last night, and he did a great job in overcoming some earlier adversity during the event, and then just turned around and wound up persevering and had a great finish in the Grand National cars last night. And he was just making the comment he really is hoping that he can duplicate that well of a finish tonight in the trucks. And so far, he's got a good start on it as he's running in sixth place.
Yes, he does.
Or seventh place now.
Yes, indeed. To round out the field, Billy Elwell is 13th. He is one lap in arrears, but Billy Elwell is going to get the benefit of having the lucky dog, assuming nobody else goes a lap down. Jeremy Dunwoody would be the nearest to doing so. He is about a minute and 4 seconds behind the lead. So Billy Elwell is going to want to get to Jeremy Dunwoody. The crazy thing about that, Jeremy Dunwoody is about 8 seconds slower than the leaders. He's 5 seconds slower than Billy Elwell. At this pace, Billy Elwell would catch Jeremy Dunwoody and pass him for position on the course. And so Billy Elwell he's looking to get the boots to it, Sam. He wants to get going because he wants to get that lucky dog, get back on the lead lap. He's got enough pace right now to be running inside the top 10.
Yeah, it's hard to overcome early penalties like that, but with stage racing, those opportunities present themselves far more greatly than if we were running green to checker at a road course that does not afford cautions at all. And that's usually the case. It's usually just local cautions at road courses, but because we do run stage racing, it does give some drivers the added benefit of being the lucky dog recipient.
It does. I'm going to keep an eye on the delta between Jeremy Dunwoody, Billy Elwell, but we're going to keep a closer eye on Logan Edwards and
yeah, he's already got up to the bumper of Sisler here. He made up a lot of time to catch Matt Sisler. That just goes to show how fast Logan Edwards really is.
There's the move down the inside. You want to be on the inside in that hairpin, Sam. You do not want to be on the outside there. We saw some drivers yesterday. It was almost like the outside there was a bit of fool's gold. You could pull up there next to somebody, you could get to the door, but there's no way to complete the pass, especially since you're on the.
Look how far Logan Edwards drives into that corner. Wow.
Yeah,
he overdrove it a little bit driving that deep in, and that opened the door for Matt Sisler. He comes back around Logan Edwards, and now everything that Edwards built up has now got to restart. He's got to reset. I thought, man, he really drove that in deep, and I thought he had it saved, but once he hit the chicane, the first corner of the chicane, it just threw him right straight into the outside wall, and he saved it. But all that momentum was lost, and now he's back to square one behind Matt Sisler.
Yeah, the way that you do that, and we'll get on board right along with the old narc brain Logan Edwards. The problem with that is when you overcook a bus stop style chicane like that, the only way that you can make it work and not knock down the wall, and it's not like Daytona where you just spin harmlessly through the grass. Here at Charlotte, even Watkins Glen, you've got some runoff. Here at Charlotte, there's no runoff. You miss that corner, you're gonna hit concrete, and so the only way to avoid that is just to get out of the power. Logan Edwards lost all of his momentum, and now he must begin again. You're riding inside the helmet of Logan Edwards as he tries to chase down Matt Sisler in third.
Just to catch up to Sisler, it took him a couple of laps to kind of close that gap, and then to have it all evaporate, and then you just have to recollect yourself. Of course, you put a little extra heat in the tires of the truck, and it's just a bit aggravating at times. But some drivers really just they light up to those occasions and make themselves get up on the wheel to do better.
Yes, they do. It's not going to be much. It's not going to be much longer before Logan Edwards has the upper hand on Matt Sisler one more time. Do want to welcome Ravens fan 134 into the chat. Thank you so much for joining us, Ravens fan. I believe Liam Anderson is
Liam Anderson,
Liam Anderson, his cousin. Liam is running along in 9th place. He's kind of disconnected from almost everybody else, just logging laps, continuing to circulate. He's going to have a battle on his hands with Colby Pierce, though, here in a couple of laps. And what we don't want to see, or what you might want to see, depending on what your proclivities are, Sam, we don't want to see Mr. Excitement, Justin Osterman, and Colby Pierce together. That's going to send Mike Rigney looking for the Tums.
That or the Pepto-Bismol.
Rolaids, bourbon, whatever you may prefer.
Yeah, exactly. The Greek yogurt, anything to calm that acid that gets it built up in your stomach at that time.
Yes, indeed. Here comes Edwards.
I don't know that Logan Edwards. Oh, big run here, and he's gonna do it again. He's gonna cut the course. He's taking huge chances here with Matt Sisler. I'm telling you, it's very difficult when you have someone that can run pace in front of you. It's very difficult to pick and choose the places that you can make your passes. And now what we've seen is twice in the chicanes that Logan Edwards is really trying to dive the truck in there and get an advantage into those chicanes. And both times he's overdrove the truck and locked the tires up and went through the corner. So Matt Sisler's just running his effective line, and Logan Edwards is now trying once again for a third time to figure out how to get around that 35 machine.
Yes, he has. I thought he had it done and dusted, Sam, and then overcooked the chicane down the backstretch, and so he has to start all over. He overcooked the chicane on the front stretch on his second attempt, and now you're looking off the back of Matt Sisler. It's worth noting, Sam, that Jeremy Dunwoody has gone 2 laps down and is on the pit lane, and that means that Billy Elwell in that number 67 Liam Anderson Motorsports
in the lucky dog spot, provided that Lewis Hayes doesn't go a lap down here before the end of the stage. We're only 11 laps into this stage. Lap 20, close to 21, will be the stage break.
And I don't think Say Hey Lewis Hayes is in danger of that.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Really will be close.
But Elwell, even if Lewis Hayes does, Elwell would be well positioned. Elwell would be well positioned to get the lucky dog at the second caution, barring any shenanigans. He also would be able to take the wave around, Sam, and get his lap back that way, should he choose. But then he might be subject. He'd have to make a pit stop under green, but you wouldn't lose a lap doing that.
Yep.
So,
right.
One way or another, Billy Elwell.
So now Logan Edwards is back on the tailgate of the 35 Three Birdies machine.
There you go. There you see it. They are doing battle. The word is Prilosec OTC 24 hours to watch a road race. I got to go stronger than that, Mike. I gotta do Nexium, and I take them once in the morning and once at night. So 2 Nexiums a day to fend off the heartburn. I've got my trusty jug of Malox next to me for this one.
My heavens.
If Pierce and Osterman get next to each other, I'm sending Sam to the drugstore. It's worth
Donahue is actually starting to open up a little bit of a lead here on Kendall Paul, and now that's just left us really closely watching what's going to happen with Sisler and Edwards, because now here we go. Logan Edwards is on the inside of Sisler. They're going through the infield portion. This time Sisler's going to let him go.
Yeah,
this time Matt Sisler just backs out and lets him go. You're faster. I'm just going to let you go. We fought long enough.
Well, there's only so many times, Sam, that you can have that dive bomb before it winds up in a bad situation for both drivers. So Sisler, knowing that,
is that a truck that was parked on the oh, that's Jeremy Dunwoody that was pulling out of the way. I see now.
Yeah, that was Jeremy Dunwoody pulling out of the way. So Logan Edwards has affected the pass. Do want to point out Do want to point out there are 13 trucks circulating. Ryan O'Donohue is your leader. Sam, Gary Elwell says she's fresh out of Tums. Rigney says you're going to bring me some pickle juice. I don't know if I could.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm a big homeopathic kind of guy. I don't normally go for pharmaceutical meds. Oh, and Matt Sisler almost loses it on the front stretch. Wow, what a save. He hit the curbing there coming on to the front stretch and almost lost the back of the truck completely.
Yes, he did.
I'm very much a homeopathic kind of guy. If you have heartburn, I'm a big advocate for pickle juice and yogurt. That gets rid of heartburn.
Indeed, Matt Sisler just about turned his truck loose. Ryan O'Donohue is your leader. He has built, O'Donohue has, and there's the 14. There's the 14 machine. He has built a 3.9 second lead over Kendall Paul. There's Kendall. He's running along in second in the familiar 78. Colors for Archway Industrial Coatings and Black Magic Studios. Logan Edwards, the old narc brain, he is third in the number 49 truck, and there he is. Matt Sisler is fourth. We've documented his run quite a bit. James Hodgson, last night's winner, the maiden win in the AMA for James Hodgson. He runs along in the fifth spot. Justin Osterman is sixth, and there's Osterman.
I'm interested to see what kind of lap time that Logan Edwards turns this time by. The last time by, he and the leader, Ryan O'Donohue, were almost identical lap times.
Well, ask and ye shall receive, Sam. 126.
Oh, wow. I knew that was going to be a fast lap. That was incredibly fast with Logan Edwards.
Yeah, 126.172 for Edwards, 126.138 for O'Donohue. It's worth noting both of those trucks a half a second faster the last time through than Kendall Paul. So we're going to have a battle for second before too much longer, Sam. And it's probably...
these two drivers, they're going to be pushing each other for the rest of the event. And we do have a stage break coming up in 5 laps.
Yes, we do. Apparently, Mike Rigney is out of clean socks, so he's going to have to leave us, Sam, to do his laundry. Unfortunate turn of events there for the Onyx Racing League impresario. It would... I thought about calling him up the other night, Sam, and telling him I found a weed in his front yard just to see what he'd do, but I thought better of it.
He'd call you a liar is what he'd call you.
But he'd still go check.
That's a big house he's in, so it'd probably take him a while to go get the laundry at that place.
There he goes. We're just we're having a good time at Mike's expense. I'm with Carrie. I don't like pickle juice, but I do like pickles. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of the pickle, Sam.
Oh, dill pickles are always good, but I've just learned throughout the years that some good pickle juice and some yogurt, it can help with acid reflux. It can help with heartburn. It really does. And don't drink a lot of it. Just drink a little bit of pickle juice and some Greek yogurt, and it will help alleviate some of those symptoms that you have to deal with.
Is that like a shot of pickle juice? Are we talking about?
Yeah, sure. Just a swallow. You don't want to overdo it with the vinegar. No, it's just a swallow.
There you go. I learned something new every day, Sam. Kendall Paul better grab himself a jar of pickle juice because he's going to have a rearview mirror full of Logan Edwards. The old narc brain is now. Whoa, Sam! He is charging these corners pretty doggone hard.
Yeah, he's in the sub 126s now. He turned a 125.748 that last time by, and Ryan O'Donohue's still right at the 126 mark. But man, that was a fast lap that Logan Edwards just turned, and the more he sees the truck in front of him getting closer, he is like a bird dog. He gets pointed in the right direction, and he will not relent until he gets to his prey.
Quite right, Sam. And he's that way in any sort of. I raced with him at Texas the other night in the Indy Open top split on P1. He and teammate Caleb Brashear, they were something else in that race. Very, very, very fast. Brashear had a chance to win it late. Actually ran himself out of gas, believe it or not.
Wow.
And that's something you have to be careful of in iRacing, in races that have any sort of fuel economy, and open wheel races almost always do, as you know, Sam. He trusted the auto fuel. So
that can be detrimental.
Yeah, it can. So iRacing will tell you, based on the fuel consumption for the entire event, and now Logan Edwards is right there, but iRacing will tell you, based on the fuel consumption thus far in the event, how much you need to get to the end, but it doesn't take into account caution laps. And so we had a yellow early in the race, and Sam, poor Logan, or not Logan, but Caleb didn't add the extra gallon that he needed from the caution, and he ran out leading the race with 2 to go.
Oh, that auto fueling has bit more people over the course of last seasons than probably any other iRacing type feature. I usually will go in and manually change all of that just myself. For one, if you're going in for your last pit stop and say it doesn't require a full tank, the car or truck can drive entirely different than what it would with a full tank of fuel. And I can't stand that feeling. It will tighten up, and it's unreasonable how it's driving. Not to mention the opportunity or the chance that there could be that you would completely run out of fuel before the event is over. So you have to watch that stuff closely, or just completely alleviate it altogether.
Very true. Caleb Brashear has joined us, the Sim Gaming Expo Open Wheel Invitational Champion. Is in the house, supporting teammate Logan Edwards. I want to see Brashear race one of these. I think that would be tremendous. I hope we were trying to take up a collection for him so he could put his new GSI open wheel rim on his Logitech G923 base. Sam, we've been trying to get that taken care of for him, as Logan Edwards continues to be all over the back of Kendall Paul.
It's entry speed into these chicanes and that hairpin. I'm telling you, there's so much time that he makes up on those entries. It's uncanny. If I were to try that, the truck would be completely in a fence or in a hay bale or in the next county. It's just amazing to me. I mean, I know we saw him overdrive a couple of chicanes earlier when he was racing Matt Sisler, but good heavens, it's just uncanny how deep he drives that truck in there. Del Paul with a little bit more of a defensive line there coming through the infield portion of the racetrack, and so now they're going to try and work their way through a couple of more corners here as they get closer to Speedway 1 and 2. And Kendall's going to guard that bottom line going into the hairpin turn, and Logan Edwards is going to try and do a crossover here. No, he's actually
well, Kendall Paul lost it. Yeah, Kendall lost it on the inside. Logan Edwards is going to make the pass for second. Kendall Paul is going to drop to third. I was going to say we should drop back and have a look at some of the other drivers, Sam. But Logan Edwards did this once before, overcooked the chicane on the back, and he overcooked the chicane on the back and wound up losing the position. Now this time he's all good. Do want to just kind of check out telemetry for Kendall Paul. I think I have an idea as to why Logan Edwards might be so fast in those chicanes. 3, 2. No, he doesn't. My thought was that he's not ever using first gear.
Let's make a shout out right now to Matt Sisler. Matt Sisler came into the pits before the pit entrance was closed for the stage.
Yes,
he was in a position where he knew he would not go a lap down. So he comes in to get fresh tires and fuel before the next stage starts. And then he comes back out on the racetrack, and now he is in the position where he may very well have the lead after this caution period for the first stage.
He most certainly should. Matt Sisler made his pit stop. He is going to he is going to assume the lead at the stage, assuming everybody else pits. Billy Elwell is going to have
He's really taking his time around the track. He's not pushing anything on these tires. He's trying not to use that much on them at all.
Well, he doesn't need to. He's about 40 seconds behind the leader, and so that means he's got 45 seconds to before he would go a lap down. And to be honest about it, that's a play. I wonder, could you do this thing in just one stop, Sam? That would be the next question. Or would the tires not allow it? We kind of talked about that yesterday. Tires made a huge difference in that Xfinity race. Are they a big deal in the trucks, or is it muted just because of the extra downforce and drag these trucks have?
Well, I don't think anyone can make it from the first stage all the way to the end of the race. I don't know that you can get 67 laps out or more. I don't think. Well, it's going to be 47 laps. It would be extremely close to think that you could get 90 miles out of a tank.
Yeah, no, I mean, why not? Matt Sisler with the strategy.
I love that he's taking a chance at this. I've been begging people all along to see if they could take advantage of the the stage system to go ahead and come in the pits, take advantage of maybe making up track position. I've been calling it all year. So kudos to Matt Sisler, who's willing to give the system a shot.
Well, and he's not in the playoffs, so he's not here to score stage points.
He's here to win.
Yeah, he's here to win the race.
He's here to win. He's here for trophies.
All right, man.
Liam Anderson is 10th. He crosses the line, and that is going to be the stage in the Krause Auto Body Machine. Liam Anderson going to come home 10th. This man right here, assuming he didn't get a 0x anytime in those last few corners, Billy Elwell is going to come around. He'll get the lucky dog. As we saw yesterday, though, Sam, that is a process, and it's going to take you a minute. It's going to take you a minute to get back around. Yeah.
And they'll go at it. Race speed. These drivers and these trucks that are so far behind in the running order, they will go race speed just to try and catch up to the leaders, who will be going in for routine pit stops.
Yeah, and
just shout out. I mean, Lewis Hayes did a great job staying on the lead lap. He was only 5 seconds from going a lap down, but he did a great job of keeping pace and not going a lap down. He'll be able to pit with the leaders.
Yes, he did, and there is Hey Lewis Hayes. He and Billy Elwell are something like a minute behind the leaders. Elwell was on the precipice of going 2 laps down, which you don't want to do, Sam. And Billy Elwell has crashed. Billy Elwell has crashed in the chicane, Sam. And let's hope that doesn't hurt his lucky dog chance. There he goes around. He smacks the wall there on exit. That is a rough situation for Elwell. And let's hope that doesn't cost him the lucky dog.
I'm really questioning if that may have cost him.
That would be so unfortunate if it had. He done such great work to get to that point. It is possible that the administration would wave him around. Welcome to Dorothy Durham, Kathy Jones, joining us as part of the cheering section for the Liam Anderson Motorsports team. Thank you so much. If you haven't already done so, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1 so that you can be notified of all future iRacing action. Carrie, it's not all.
Hang in there, Carrie. It's not over. It's just the first stage. We'll see how it all plays out.
We'll see, but that is definitely going to be the story. Is Billy Elwell?
No, he's losing it again. Oh, can he save it? Yes, he saved it. Oh, he is trying everything in his power. He's drifting that truck through the infield to catch the field. He is still a half a lap behind the field.
Well, and you wonder,
and so he is everything within him. He is trying to catch this field.
And you wonder, Sam, did he melt the tires just staying 1 lap down where he was? He was running laps that were very competitive with, like Justin Osterman, Chuck Sweeting, David Dunwoody. This is a solid 10th place truck if he can just hang on to it. So he is coming to pit road now. That tells me that he is going to be awarded the lucky dog, Sam, because they wouldn't allow him to pit with the lead lap trucks if he wasn't. So that's good news, I believe, for Billy, and he's bringing it down pit road now. But such was the gap that you see the trucks on pit lane ahead of him. The rest of the lead lap trucks, they should be getting done with their service about now. Whereas Elwell and Hayes are just now pulling in to their pit boxes, Sam.
It's grueling to know that you're that far behind and still trying to get in and pit so that you can catch the field one more time.
Well, and then, we know he's been in the wall a little bit over there, so he's going to have to repair some damage. Colby Pierce, Chuck Sweeting also remain on the pit lane. They are repairing damage as well. Say, hey, Lewis Hayes has gone back out. He took a little bit longer in his pit box, as did Liam Anderson, so a little bit of touch-up work happening on those trucks. But there's Elwell. He's sitting there with Colby Pierce, and those two, they're going to have to hurry. Especially if he's got that lucky dog situation, Sam, he's going to have to hurry because they would waive him the next time through, right?
Well, that's where the confusion is for me, is that if he was the lucky dog, he would not be able to pit with the leaders the first time by. He would have to wait for the next circuit so that he could pit, or that once they pitted, then he could take the lucky dog privilege and go back around the pace car. Hold on one second. Okay, I think what's happening here. Hold on one second. I'm listening to in-race communications.
Sam Crow is our man with the radio. For obvious reasons, I do not have the in-race radio live.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought happened. Is Billy Elwell was the lucky dog candidate. It did not negate, because he had spun, but it did not negate that he was still the lucky dog candidate. The problem was that he pitted with the leaders instead of staying out on the track and then being awarded the lucky dog, and then he could pit.
So at the end of the day,
now there is a big discussion between he and the administration about when he should have pitted, when he shouldn't have pitted. But by all practical purposes, the fact that he went in when he did, what's happening here is that Billy Elwell gets to the pit lane, and the pit indicator says that the pits are open to him. However, he cannot take advantage of that privilege until he receives his lucky dog, and so he did not stay out on the racetrack, and he thought because it said pits were open that he could have that privilege and come back out and take the lucky dog.
Indeed, and it's made more confusing by the fact that this track it takes so long to navigate, and the distance was so great. It wasn't like an oval where you've caught up to the field and okay, I'm the lucky dog, I can't stop this time, right?
Yeah, it can be confusing, but if it says lucky dog, if you have the indication that you're the lucky dog, that is the first action that you have to take before you ever take a pit stop. You have to take that first action, which is the lucky dog. Take that benefit and then get quickly around the racetrack and then pit. And there was some confusion on Billy Elwell's part about that, because his indicator said that the pits were open, so he thought he could take advantage of that, come back out, and take the lucky dog. But by ruling, he has to take the lucky dog first.
It's okay, Kerry. There's going to be one more of those, and to be fair, Billy's got plenty of a fast truck, and now he knows. Next time, now he knows. Anyway, Matt Sizzler is your leader. He won the race off of pit road, or he won the race off of pit road by virtue of having not been to pit road. He stopped prior to the pits being closed. Ryan O'Donohue, who won that first stage, is going to line up to his outside. Logan Edwards, Kendall Paul, they're going to go from row 2. Osterman and Hodgson, row 3. Liam Anderson, David Dunwoody, 7th and 8th. And Chuck Sweeting, say hey, Lewis Hayes, 9th and 10th, Colby Pierce, Billy Elwell in 11th and 12th. Jeremy Dunwoody is 13th. Elwell 1 lap down. Dunwoody 3 laps down as they work through yet another chicane, Sam.
Oh, we know how you love the chicanes. And is that Colby Pierce? It is Colby Pierce back in the field there. I'm sure that Billy Elwell is probably, he's probably about to explode in the cockpit of that truck to know that he had the lucky dog candidate, and then just through all the confusion, he lost that benefit. He is right now, as it stands,
and
he is the only truck 1 lap down, and there is still yet another stage break.
Yeah, and so that's the silver lining, right? Is we know there's
and this is the shortest of the stages. So as long as he keeps the truck clean and no one else goes a lap down ahead of him, then he should be able to get that benefit. But if it says lucky dog candidate, he needs to stay on the racetrack until he fulfills that privilege.
There he goes, and there we go. Back to live action. 25 of 67 complete here in the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. You've got Murph, you've got Sam.
Oh no, we've got Chuck Sweeting off the racetrack and into the barrier.
Here's what's befallen Chuck Sweeting. He's going through, that's turned 3.
Just the back of the truck got a little loose on him, and he just got overcorrected and just tried to save it, and then it just left him careening off the safer barrier there. He gets the truck righted very quickly, but he does have significant quarter panel damage to that truck.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard lick for Chuck Sweeting, and the biggest Chuck Sweeting fan right now is Billy Elwell.
Yeah, he wants him to go fast and stay ahead of the field.
Yeah, Billy's saying, "Stay out there, Chuck. Don't go lap down.
Do it, Chuck.
Right? Stay out there."
He is a big Chuck Sweeting fan right now.
Yeah, stay out there. Don't go lap down. But no worries, Kerry. Billy's going to be fine, assuming he remains that car 1 lap down.
Oh my heavens! Lewis Hayes he not only cuts the first of the chicane, but the second of the chicane. And he does a masterful job of not cleaning out Colby Pierce there on the front stretch.
Watch this.
Great job by Lewis Hayes.
Watch this. Say hey, Lewis Hayes in the 4D Raceware machine. He's behind Colby. He sees, hey, I'm not going to make this corner. And so he swings it wide and intentionally cuts and then gets off the racing surface so as not to affect any of the other drivers around him. You want to see what a veteran driver does, and say hey, Lewis Hayes.
Well said, Mark. Well said.
That's it. He got himself a meatball doing that, Sam. It tore that truck up. He's missing the entire right front fender on that machine. But say hey, Lewis Hayes sacrifices his own race so that he doesn't cause a mess for somebody else.
And that's just that's how Lewis races. He doesn't want to ruin anyone's night. Big race here, big bagel of race trucks here with Billy Elwell sideways through the chicane and Colby Pierce right up on the tailgate.
Well, and
William Anderson is involved in this mix. James Hodgson is involved in that racing. And David Dunwoody, who continually just runs right effectively in that 6th and 7th spot, is right ahead of these drivers.
I'm growing more fond of chicane, Sam. Colby Pierce just slams the outside wall off the turtles. It's worth noting Chuck Sweeting has parked the 75, and so that's going to move Billy Elwell into the 10th spot, 1 lap down. He's past Lewis Hayes, so Elwell, as long as he can just keep it moving in the right direction, he's going to be in pretty good shape here. Colby Pierce is 9th, and there's Colby. He's been knocking down some walls around the Charlotte Roval here this evening. Colby Pierce is 9th. There's Liam Anderson in the Krause Auto Body Machine. He is 8th. And there's Liam, and he is right around James Hodgson, David Dunwoody. It's odd to me to see James Hodgson in that forward-facing 88 running as he is, Sam. Hodgson was the winner last night, sat on the pole, won the race. He has not been able to transfer that success from the truck or from the Xfinity car into the truck.
Well, it's not for a lack of speed. It's just that there's a couple of drivers here that really have a little bit more pace than he has. He's been consistent all throughout the race. I've been really surprised to see that Rhino Donahue was pulling away from Logan Edwards. However, I do know that Logan will get stronger and stronger as the run goes. These two trucks are very, very much alike in pace and speed. Their entries are a little different. Their exits are a little different. But these two trucks are going to be very close together now that Edwards is completely unabated to get to Rhino Donahue, and Rhino Donahue, coming off of a win in the Truck Series, is eager to add to that total in the win column.
Most certainly so. I do want to thank everybody for joining in. If you're new to the P1 Broadcasting channel, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, be notified of all future P1 action. Do also want to give a shout out and a thank you to Archway Industrial Coatings, who is the presenting sponsor here for the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. They're a St. Louis-based flooring company that have been getting the job done for years. They do epoxy and urethane flooring solutions that withstand the test of time, all while meeting their customers' installation schedules and budgets. They're committed to doing the highest quality work at the lowest possible cost every time. Whether it's industrial, commercial, restaurant, retail, or concrete repair at home, you found the perfect partner to get the job done now. Get ready to floor it with Archway. That's archwaycoatings.com. Sam, they do some good work. If I was in St. Louis, I'd have them out to redo my garage.
Oh, I guarantee if I was in the same area, I would do the same. Lewis Hayes, the damage that was on his truck that we reported earlier was just too much to overcome, and now Lewis Hayes has taken that truck behind the wall to the garage area, and he's called it the night. And as long as Chuck, as well as Chuck Sweeting, as was said earlier, and that's going to move Billy Elwell up 2 spots after this restart alone, and he is still just 1 lap down. So he's still in the lucky dog position, but he's already made up 2 spots just after this restart alone. Logan Edwards is now he's lurking very closely behind the number 14 Rhino Donahue machine, and now they're coming down the backstretch. We'll see if Logan Edwards tries to make this big deep dive that he's been doing all night long. He'll fall in line behind Rhino Donahue, and so we're excited to see where this is going to lead as they come through Speedway 3 and 4.
Yes, indeed, and this is the battle for the lead. Logan Edwards has pulled up on the back. He's pulled up on the back of Rhino Donahue. Edwards is looking to take that lead the first time. You can see Sizzler, Kendall Paul in the background, but Logan Edwards, you mentioned, like the bird dog, he's there, he's hunting it, he can smell it, Sam.
Oh yeah, there's no question. Once he gets the scent, he won't be satisfied until he gets his quarry, and Rhino Donahue is in his crosshairs right now. I will tell you, just through this section of the race course on the infield here, the truck wants to slide so much, but these drivers they're just masterfully wheeling these trucks and able to keep such control that they can be so racy, and the lap times are ludicrously fast. And so Rhino Donahue knows that he's going to have to keep a little bit more pace if he wants to keep the 49 of Edwards behind him.
Yes, he does, and Rhino Donahue has turned up the wick and pulled out back to a half a second advantage over Logan Edwards. This is the battle for the lead, and it is a good one, right? Ooh,
Jeremy stuck around there in the chicane.
That's Jeremy Dunwoody, and Jeremy Dunwoody, I'd like to point out, Say Lewis Hayes and Chuck Sweeting retiring is good news for Jeremy Dunwoody. Dunwoody is in that playoff battle, and so he just needs to keep circulating and make laps. Any attrition is his friend, but that might be terminal damage there. That looked like a pretty hard hit. Anytime you're off in that area against the wall, that usually means you hit it pretty hard, Sam.
And these trucks are in the iRacing sim are very, very sensitive to damage, and it can be catastrophic. Sometimes what may seem like the most simplest of indentures, but any kind of front end damage a lot of times will incur motor difficulties, or any kind of right front or left front damage can incur wheel damage, which would make the truck incredibly hard to drive. So I don't know what it is about the damage model in the trucks, but it is super, super sensitive.
Most certainly so. Speaking of sensitive, if you got a chance to drive the Indy NASCAR yet, Sam?
No, I haven't done that.
That thing is extremely sensitive to the point where if you just rub on the wall a little bit, it will give you wheel damage. And those cars do not make pit stops, and so basically any damage is day done in those cars. But you're right; these trucks are pretty sensitive, especially to frontal hits. Jeremy Dunwoody, though, has got it pointed back in the right direction. He's continuing to circulate 4 laps down, and he's made up those 2 spots on Sweeting and Say Hey Lewis Hayes. And we're getting close, Sam, to halfway in this one. 32 of 67 laps here from the Roval.
Yes, sir, we are. And with that being so close to the halfway point, it also puts us right behind the halfway point of the second stage ending. And we'll see. Probably outside of Jeremy Dunwoody, we'll find the entire field on the remaining field. We'll see the top 10 completely on the same lap. So there'll be no, outside of Jeremy Dunwoody, there'll be no trucks on the racetrack that'll be in a deficit of laps.
Quite true, Sam. I would like to thank the wonderful Miss Natalie. She just brought me a cup of hot tea. I've been fighting a little bit of cold, been losing the old voice. I don't know, Sam, though. Should I be suspicious? Do I need to have a sworn enemy?
You need a cup bearer.
Do I need to have a sworn enemy like Phil Krause come taste test my tea here?
I thought it'd be more like Clindy or somebody to come do it.
Well, I don't want to hurt Clindy. I'm supposed to race sports car with him tomorrow.
Oh, well then, so Philip Krause is who you have the vendetta against.
No, so Phil and I are good friends. He doesn't race every week on P1, but when he shows up, that man is awfully tough to beat. No beer, Caleb, but we're in a professional environment. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna have one after, but this is a professional endeavor, and so we do not imbibe.
You don't want to hear Mark Blur. I assure you, you really don't want to hear Mark Blur.
You don't. I will say this: there have been times I've been sorely tempted in an endurance race where you're in the middle of the night and you're not in the car and you don't have to get back in. I have been sorely tempted to bring a bottle of bourbon into the rig and assist my teammates along with encouragement.
Liquid encouragement.
That's right, Sam. Ryan O'Donohue, Ryan O'Donohue and Logan Edwards. It's painted identical to Caleb Brashear to tell you that, but Logan Edwards continues to circulate. He is a solid second. The old narc brain behind this man, Ryan O'Donohue, and Kendall Paul and Matt Sizzler are fixing to have a pretty good duel here for second. For third. That is under a second now between Kendall Paul and Matt Sizzler. And so we'll keep an eye on that as we watch the lead. Ryan O'Donohue over Logan Edwards.
Well, third and fourth, that position at third place could be equally as important as any position on the racetrack, because with Logan Edwards and Ryan O'Donohue running so similarly and being so close in the running here in this particular stage, and probably for the rest of the race, if those two drivers start really going at it and get into trouble like what we saw last night in the Grand National race, where we saw the two leaders on the last start after the second stage, those two drivers were so competitive coming around on the backstretch that they both dove it in incredibly too deep on the chicane, and both looped the cars going down into that corner on cold tires, and that relinquished the lead over to James Hodgson, who masterfully got out and just left the rest of the field and pulled out his first Grand National win of the season. So that third place here for Matt Sisler and Kendall Paul could be equally as important by the end of this race.
Yes, it could. And there's Matt Sisler. He runs along in third. He's pulled back out to about a second over Kendall Paul. That had closed to roughly 7/10, and that's where it starts to get bright red in my timing and scoring, Sam. That's where it starts to get bright red in my timing and scoring. It has now gone
we
to.
did see in the first stage, Mark. We did see where Matt Sisler actually he really began to use a lot of tire, and trucks were making passes on him late in the stage. So did Matt Sisler make the adjustments that he needed to make so that he would not be in a detriment on the end of a stage? Did he make the proper adjustments here? Is he just biding his time? As we see Logan Edwards, a big move on the outside.
Yeah, Logan Edwards is there now, and he is hunting that lead relentlessly on Ryan O'Donoghue. We're going to get you the replay of that move to the outside. It is an aggressive one to try to go around the outside of that turn number 7 hairpin. It is very difficult to make that stick. Edwards not able to do so, but what he does is he serves notice to Ryan O'Donoghue that he's there. Now, Sam, I just noticed riding on board with Logan Edwards, I can see see him sawing on the wheel a little bit in the braking zone. Is that indicative of him wheel hopping it just a little bit?
Well, wheel hopping and because of the contour of the racetrack, this racetrack is surprisingly bumpy. And so whenever you start going under braking in certain locations on the racetrack, the contour of the racetrack upsets the truck as well under braking, and so you're trying to maneuver the wheel to catch any disruption to the suspension of the race truck under those conditions.
Edwards is going to try to pull the crossover here on Ryan O'Donoghue.
He's been working that move of this entire stage. Every time that he's got close to Ryan O'Donoghue, that is the move that he has been working feverishly to try and make happen against Ryan O'Donoghue. He must see that there is a slow part of Ryan's race that is in that corner, and he is wanting to take advantage of it. I think that Ryan O'Donoghue is doing a masterful job of just getting back onto the throttle a little bit cleaner and quicker than Logan Edwards. But Logan Edwards is a master with the brakes. His ability to brake that much going into a corner and not lose the truck, it's impressive.
Most certainly so. And here's the thing, Sam. We kind of touched on it last night. This track is 17 corners. It's 2.3 miles in length, the Roval is. But there's really only a couple of spots that you can make a move. The 2 chicanes and the hairpin really are the only passing opportunities here. And those are heavy brake zones. And so that's where Logan Edwards excels. Otherwise, the 2 trucks are pretty much identical speed. But that's where Logan Edwards excels, is under the brakes. And look at how wide he swings it this time, Sam.
That was way too wide. I think he overcompensated that for that particular time. And Jeremy Dunwoody again on the apron, but he's well off the racing surface, and he's not going to be an impact on the leaders. And what we saw with Logan Edwards there was that it was a little too aggressive, and he lost a lot of time to Ryan O'Donoghue. Now he's got to work himself back up into contention for this lead spot in the closing laps of this stage.
Yes, indeed. Coming to get lap 38 of 67. Billy Elwell has remained the 1 lap down. He's about 10 seconds ahead of this fight, and so let's give Billy his due. if he's able to continue in the right direction for another couple laps and he doesn't enter the pit lane when it's closed to him, he will get the lucky dog, be back on the lead lap. And again, his pace is such that he should be running in the bottom part of that top 10. So good for Billy Elwell to continue moving in the right direction. If he's able to do so, he might be able to pick up another couple or 3 spots, Sam. Meanwhile, I'm interested to see, and Jeremy Dunwoody has gotten a black flag now, and I am guessing that is too fast on entry to pit lane. Too fast entering pit lane. But the big question to me is, has Logan Edwards burned up his tires? Is he keeping his powder dry? Is he just going to try to make that move one more time? Or is he going to save it for the third stage, Sam?
It's so late in the stage, it's just hard to imagine that you would want to take too many risks this late in the stage, that maybe you're just going to settle in, get some fresh tires, and see if you can't make something happen on the last restart of the event. I don't know that I would get up here and risk taking, the 2 leaders out by either cooking the tires on entry or getting loose coming off the corner. I don't know that I would risk it unless something just materializes. You still probably got a solid 2 laps here where Ryan O'Donoghue's going to have to stay in front of him, but Ryan O'Donoghue has been like a machine tonight. He is consistently lapping and lap out, just doing the best that he can. Logan Edwards, of course, is, as I'm speaking and just kind of riding out the stage, he's pulling right back up on the bumper of Ryan O'Donoghue, and he may have something else in mind for this closing portion of the race, of the stage.
There you go, Sam. And I think Logan Edwards, I don't want to say he's burned up his stuff, but I think he realizes discretion may be the better part of valor here. They've got a pretty big lead over Matt Sizzler in third, who after that strategy call wound up, Sam, right where he started.
Be coming around at lap 40 this time by.
It will. Now remember, we might be going to 42 on this one because...
Yes, because it is the completion of lap 40, and then...
The 10th place car has to complete.
The 10th place car, right. And Billy Elwell is almost a full minute now behind these leaders, and because of that, he'll have to.
Well, now is it he crosses the line after they cross the line, or does he have to complete 40 laps? Because he's a lap down, remember. So we may be going an extra lap in this stage here.
By the time that he catches the field, it should equate back.
We'll see. I'm interested as to how this will work. There's Billy. He is working his way through oval 3 and 4. He's going to come down here, and normally this would end the stage, right? Because the leaders have already completed it. So it does, or they're working lap 40. So it does not. Back to the front, they will complete 40 this time, and then I'm interested to see.
Just told the field that the caution is going to come out 1 lap later, simply because the 10th place truck is 1 lap down. So he's indicating to the leaders, he's indicating to the field that they'll have to make another circuit in order for this all to work out. Logan Edwards right on the bumper of Ryan O'Donoghue that time, going through the chicane on the front stretch.
Now that's good information, because the tendency is for a lot of drivers when you're in a race with stages,
back out.
The tendency is, you cross the line and complete the stage for yourself and you back out of it. No, you got to keep going until the yellow comes out, Sam.
Well, Logan Edwards sees an opportunity here. Maybe Ryan O'Donoghue slowed down enough for him to make a decision.
Well, it's all going to come to a head when we get down to this. Hairpin.
Oh yeah, the hairpin is where Logan has really, really been taking really big risks to make passes here.
Ryan O'Donoghue ran
way out on the outside.
Once again, though, Ryan O'Donoghue ran the perfect defensive line. He covered off the inside, and he forced Logan Edwards to take their long way around, and he forced him out wide enough where he wasn't even able to get a good enough angle to launch off the corner and stay side by side. O'Donohue covers off the inside again into the backstretch chicane. And so Logan Edwards now, he's going to have to follow him at least to the front stretch. Logan Edwards wants that lead, though, Sam.
Ryan's done a great job of keeping the 49 at bay for this entire stage. And the last stage is going to be the longest, so he's going to still have his hands full. These two drivers are not going to be out of contention with each other. They're going to be nose to tail in one shape, form, or fashion in the closing portions of this stage. And now we're on lap 42, so this time by when the 10th place truck of Billy Elwell crosses over the start finish line, we will go under caution. And Billy Elwell, if he plays everything accordingly, he'll stay out on the racetrack until he is given the instruction to pass the pace car. That will give him the lucky dog, and then he can make his pit stop.
There you go,
but
Sam.
He has a long way to go to do that.
So Billy Elwell, when he crosses the line this time, it should trigger the stage brake. And here comes Billy. With that said, I'm going to take a bit of a Kyle Heath break as soon as the yellow does come out. I will return, Sam. There's the yellow. There's the caution. And so Billy Elwell does need, remember, he needs to stay out, Mom. If he stays out, he'll be just fine. Takes his lucky dog, and then he comes back and gets tires and fuel once he's able. I have learned the worst part about having the fridge of fun in the garage, Sam. It's not having the fridge of fun. It's the bill to refill it when fun is had. So, I will return in just a few moments.
Now we're in the infield portion of the racetrack, and we see where the pace cars picked up the field. Ryan O'Donohue, Logan Edwards, Matt Sisler, Kendall Paul, and Justin Osterman, who has had a great showing tonight, are your top 5 drivers. Hodgson in that very unique paint scheme that's in honor of his family members who served in the Royal Air Force. And so if you're wondering, that is not the Doppler effect from Big Bang Theory fame, but that is actually a paint scheme that was used on military craft back in World War II. And so James is honoring his family members who served in that capacity. Now leave David Dunwoody, who has steadily been in 7th place. He's going to catch the field as well. Colby Pierce is in 8th. Liam Anderson is in 9th, and Billy Elwell is in 10th, and he should be the lucky dog recipient. Now this, again, he should be able to come by this time and take advantage of that. As long as he doesn't pit, if he stays out on the racetrack and lets the leaders go into pit, he will stay out, and then the stand will instruct him, the officials will instruct him to go around the pace car, and he'll have to make another lap in order to make his own repairs or pit stop that subsequent lap later.
Yes, indeed. Now, Sam, I do want to point out that Colby Pierce and Justin Osterman have not been able to renew their feud tonight, and so that has been that
might be by design. They probably are trying to avoid one another.
I wonder if they got the Days of Thunder speech about monkeys and racetracks, Sam. That of course, based on real events between Jeff Bodine and Dale Earnhardt, and make sure Billy Elwell stays out here. It's so tempting.
He's talking to the officials right now to make sure exactly so that he can get this this benefit. He's staying out on the racetrack, and this is what really should have happened last time. He should be able to drive around the pace car.
We're going to see. We're focusing on the pit exit because we're going to watch the race off of pit road. But the pace car. There he is. He has not yet been waved around.
No, he's notified the administration that he's told to stay behind the pace car. The sim is telling him to stay behind the pace car.
Here's the race off of pit road. Ryan O'Donoghue wins it. He's followed by Matt Sisler, Logan Edwards third, Kendall Paul, and then Justin Osterman, James Hodgson, David Dunwoody, Colby Pierce, and Liam Anderson are going to be the front nine off of pit road. And then again, we are awaiting Billy Elwell and his trip, and we're going to cover that because this is going to be a journey, Sam. He should get the wave around this time. He's going to have to make a lap at speed, come in pit, and then make another lap at speed trying to catch the field. And I don't know if he's going to be able to catch all the way back up, Sam.
Well, administration is now instructing him to just going around the pace car. If nothing else, if there's a glitch in the
if there's a glitch, they can clear it, right? That's one of the
right. What they'll do is they'll manually give him a wave around. He gets this benefit,
right? But it shouldn't be to his.
Now he's got to pick up some. You know, he has to get up to race speed so that he can pit in a timely manner, so that while he's in the pits, he doesn't go another. You know, the field doesn't catch him and get him a lap down again.
Yeah, now
he should have adequate time. He shouldn't lose unless he just has extensive optional damage. He should have enough time that he wouldn't lose the lap again. But I'm sure administration is staying on top of this. Now they have the administration has given him the wave around, and he is technically on the tail end of the lead lap as the field is coming around. He is on pit lane getting his service as the field is coming through 3 and 4. A 14-second pit stop. He should have no problem getting back on the racetrack, but he's going to have to catch the field, and that's going to be a time consumer because they'll have one more lap to go, and he should have plenty of time to catch them.
All right, so there goes Billy Elwell. He is off, and he is back on the lead lap, Sam. And so we'll watch as he circulates because as we kind of talked about before, this is not these laps can be harrowing in themselves. You're on cold tires. You're out there by yourself. You're not in rhythm. You've just stopped, and so he's gonna have to hustle if he wants to make it back. The pace car is about 50 seconds up the road from him.
Yeah, he should be more than fine. It takes so long. Oh my heavens, there's a truck ahead of him that's.
Well, and that's the other thing. He can't pass Jeremy Dunwoody either.
Yeah, and both these drivers are eagerly trying to get back around the racetrack so that they can catch the field. But they're just not going through the infield. But it's going to be a chore for them to catch back up.
Whoa, Jeremy Dunwoody loses it. Billy Elwell almost follows him into the tires. And how, poor Billy, he's trying to get back around, and you see Jeremy Dunwoody launch into the barriers in front of you. But Elwell is now, he's cut that deficit to the pace car in half. He's continuing around, but this is...
Yeah, he's got enough pace that he should be able to catch the field. It's going to be, I know it seems like eternity, but they're not even on the back stretch yet, so he should be fine. But he does have one lap of race conditions on those tires.
Yes, he does. Well, 2 actually. 2. He's gonna have 2, Sam. By the time he hits the thing, because he already did 1, and now he's around on his second. but he's going to catch the back of the field by the time they get back to green, and so that is perfect news. Speaking of the field, here they come down the backstretch into the chicane, Sam, into a chicane. They're following the Ford Mustang pace car. Ryan O'Donoghue is your leader. Sizzler second. Logan Edwards, Kendall Paul, row 2. Justin Osterman, James Hodgson, row 3. Then Pierce, David Dunwoody, Liam Anderson, and Billy Elwell all on that lead lap. And Elwell has pulled alongside Liam. And so everybody is here. The top 10 are all together. They are all on the lead lap. Jeremy Dunwoody still circulates, but he is 6 laps in arrears.
And Matt Sisler beat Ryan O'Donoghue Logan Edwards off the pit lane here.
Yes, he did. We're going to keep a focus on the fight at the front because you've got Sisler chasing O'Donoghue, Logan Edwards in the mix, and I don't know if Logan Edwards being in that spot is necessarily a bad thing, Sam.
No, he has position going into turn 1. There's no two ways about that. But Sisler's been hard. I mean, he's been hard to race. He's fast, and he's not willing to give up position so easily. And now he falls right in behind Ryan O'Donoghue, and Logan Edwards is in a familiar position where he sees nothing but 3 birdies in his windshield, and he's got to re-examine how hard it was to pass Sisler earlier in the race.
Well, and the other bit of that is, if you look behind these 3 as we take a look on the roof of Logan Edwards, is that Sizzler and Edwards are not part of the playoff battle. Kendall Paul is, and he would very much love Kendall Paul would to get by these 2, because that is a championship that is leaving out his windshield. If you look off the back of Kendall Paul, he knows Ryan O'Donoghue is ahead of him, and he knows that O'Donoghue has a big lead in the points, Sam.
Yeah, it's just, I've been very surprised that we've just not seen Chad Dulabon and Chad Winstead here in these playoff races as well. It's just been very surprising to me that we've not seen those drivers in regards to their participation in these particular events.
Surprising indeed. Back to the battle.
I mean, they're those drivers, they are in the points. For all practicality, they are within the top 8, but a race like today where Chad Winstead, Chad Dulabon, both of those drivers are not here. You have Dunwoody, Osterman, both Dunwoodies, David and Jeremy, that will either pass or catch up to those 2 drivers. Chuck Sweeting, who was an early exit here tonight, and he's 3rd in the points, and so it could really shake up the top 8 dramatically. I would think that you'd want to show up for as many races as possible in order to accumulate all the points that you could possibly get.
Yeah, and that's the thing to me. I mean, there's a huge debate about, playoff points and playoffs in general, and, what that does. Does it cheapen a championship, or does it make a championship more worthwhile? Is it a made-for-TV spectacle? Does it prioritize certain races over others? I was always a big fan of the NASCAR model, simply because it forced people to show up. You couldn't skip races. The IndyCar model right now is kind of like that, where it gives priority to winning, but there is a consistency factor to it too. And maybe that's something that they need to look at, as we talked about that controversy last night a little bit. It's clear that NASCAR took direction from TV, and it's clear that, they decided to prioritize certain races and certain tracks, and it's pretty clear that that's backfired in terms of in-person attendance, TV attendance, and so on. And so, I think going to a different point system that rewards winning and consistency and does away with the playoffs is probably the way to go. But who knows, Sam?
Not only that, but NASCAR always takes into consideration the fact that with football season, football season is just kicking in as they're getting into their playoff runs. And so that's a big factor in how their viewership and how their uh, fan participation is affected as well in the closing months
Do I need to
of a season.
do I need to go back and get the old mid '90s yearbooks out that show this place full in October, Sam? I mean, packed to the
What?
gills.
Yeah, but the Roval wasn't in existence either.
No, but the Roval also draws a third of the attendance that the oval race did in October back then. I'm saying the problem is bigger, Sam. Anyway, Mike Rigney has joined us back. He now has clean socks, and so that is good. Does Mike iron his socks, Sam? Do we know?
Why are you asking me? I have no idea.
So, well, you know him pretty well. So we got to know, Mike. Do you iron your socks? Are you one of those guys that irons your socks and underwear, or iron your socks and undershirts, or do you just fold them and put them away? Inquiring minds need to know. Ryan O'Donoghue is in the lead. Sizzler and Logan Edwards are battling for second. Kendall Paul and Justin Osterman are kind of separated a little bit, as is James Hodson. There's no real other battles on the course other than to say the perseverance, Sam, for Billy Elwell paid off. He had enough speed to run in the bottom half of the top 10, like I'd said, and he has made it. Now that he's back on the lead lap, he's made a pass on Liam Anderson, made it past Colby Pierce. Billy Elwell is an 8th.
Perseverance overcomes a lot of obstacles, and so Billy Elwell being one to prove that tonight, just for that very point in itself, is to watch him already driving back up through the field to get the best finish that he can possibly get under these circumstances. I mean, he could very well catch David Dunwoody before the closing of this race is over.
You know, he may very well do. That's one to keep an eye on is Billy Elwell. Although Dunwoody is about a half a second quicker than Billy Elwell at the moment. So, while we will be keeping an eye on that, that may be where he levels, Sam.
Oh, Logan Edwards! He just about takes the back of Matt Sisler out on the entry that time. Now he gets a big crossover move, and he's on the inside of Matt Sisler as they go through Speedway 1 and 2. Oh, very defensive move there from Logan Edwards, and Matt Sisler is going to try and do a little something different this time. Doesn't pay off. Logan Edwards is going to pull away comfortably now as he has the 14 of Ryan O'Donoghue in his sights.
Yes, he does. While we're watching this battle between Logan Edwards and Matt Sisler, well, Edwards has made the pass, and so he's gone through, Sam. Move Edwards into second, and he is going to try to chase down Ryan O'Donoghue one more time. I do want to thank everybody for joining in on the broadcast tonight. It is another stellar crowd, Sam. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1, be notified of all future iRacing broadcasts. We also would love to thank Archway Industrial Coatings for their support of the series. Archway Industrial Coatings is, excuse me, my goodness. Archway Industrial Coatings is a St. Louis-based flooring company that have been getting the job done for years. They do epoxy and urethane flooring solutions that withstand the test of time while meeting our customers' installation schedules and budgets. We're committed to doing the highest quality work at the lowest possible cost every time. Whether you're looking for industrial, commercial, retail, restaurant, flooring, or concrete repair at home, you found the perfect partner to get the job done now. Get ready to floor it with Archway. It is Ryan O'Donoghue leading. Logan Edwards, the old narc brain, is second. He is starting to shave into that lead, Sam. 2/200ths of a second the last time through. I'm interested to see if he's able to get to continue to get closer.
Well, catching him is one thing, but the old adage is passing him is a whole different thing altogether. But we still have 27 laps left in this race. Or excuse me, 17 laps in this race, and it's a lot of laps of wear and tear on these trucks and their tires to see how it might unfold. Logan Edwards is really well known for his ability to keep pace over the long run. Ryan O'Donoghue has been very faithful of sticking it out up front with clean air on the nose of that truck, and he's led the majority of the laps tonight, and he's not going to be an easy pass even if the 49 were to catch him.
Yes, indeed. There's Ryan O'Donoghue, and he continues to lead Logan Edwards, but Edwards took 2/10 out of it that last time. He is really, really charging. By the way, to answer the question, yes, Sam, I do iron my socks. Although the rest of my stuff is the wicking polo stuff that you don't have to iron. So I kind of get it back that way. Anyway, Edwards is coming, Sam. That's the bottom line.
I've never ironed a sock in my life.
Well, I'm kind of a weird guy, Sam.
Never thought the need to iron a sock in my entire life. I do iron my own shirts, my own pants, but I've never ironed a sock.
You know,
if it gets to that, then I need to take up a new profession.
You can't have wrinkled socks, Sam.
Well, they're not wrinkled once you stretch them over your big feet.
Well, that's true. Speaking of that, I went and bought a new pair of shoes today, Sam. Did
you iron those too?
No, but is it just me? Or do new shoes all look like they belong on all belong on the space shuttle, Sam?
Well, it depends on the shoe.
Man, I couldn't find just a plain like white or black pair of Nikes to save my life. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, you were looking for old man shoes. You have to go to the website for that.
They have a website? What is this website?
Well, when you have Jeremy Dunwoody has parked his truck right there on the outside of the racetrack in the hairpin, that is the best seat in the house to watch trucks come racing by.
Yes, it is. And he's got going again. I was going to say, maybe he knows he can't improve anymore. He's just going to park there.
If I'm going to spectate, let me find a really good spot to spectate because the racing has been really good in the hairpin. But with most shoes, when you have a foot the size of a canoe like I do, you have a tendency to have to order shoes online. So.
There you go. No, I went up and down the Logan Edwards straight lines of chicane. I went up and down.
Oh, Logan Edwards missed it. Yes, he did.
That's going to cost him, and it's like it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back sometimes for Logan. He's got to drive so hard to chop into that lead from Ryan O'Donoghue that he just can't. There's no margin for error, and when he makes an error, it really costs him. He had been gaining, but he's going to give it all right back. And now the advantage for O'Donoghue is 2 seconds.
Ryan he's been steady as a rock most of the night. He's had the ability to just continue to run lap after lap in a consistent basis. And though Logan Edwards has shown a lot of speed, there's been some little hiccups here and there that have cost him some of the opportunities that he's had to catch Ryan O'Donoghue.
It's going to be interesting to me, Sam, to see just because Logan Edwards made that mistake and got himself into a little bit of a hole, it doesn't mean that Ryan O'Donoghue isn't prone to doing the same. Meanwhile, we got a battle for third. Kendall Paul has pulled right onto the back deck of Matt Sizzler. And don't look now, but Mr. Excitement has joined that fray. We're about to have a 3-way battle for third. Maybe.
Yeah, Justin Osterman is the eager onlooker to see what's going to happen in this battle between the third and fourth place trucks. Really, just a great run for Justin Osterman. We haven't called out his name a lot, just simply because in the past, he excitement always seems to follow him. He always seems to be in a battle with somebody. But he has steadily just run right here in the 5th and 6th place all night long and put himself in a good position. And so riding behind these two drivers.
Ooh, Kendall Paul locks it up.
Locks it up, yeah.
And that's going to cost him some time to Sizzler, but it's going to put him right in the bread basket of Justin Osterman, and those are two playoff trucks, or two playoff drivers, whereas Logan Edwards and Matt Sisler are not. And so any advantage they can gain on each other, they're effectively racing for second place in terms of the playoff situation.
Big bite of that curbing there that Kendall Paul took off in that chicane. I thought for sure he might have incurred a penalty there, but boy, he took a lot of the curbing out there on that first section of that chicane on the backstretch.
Yes, indeed. Kendall Paul, I mean, he's gonna go as absolutely hard as he can, Sam. He knows he needs to pass Matt Sisler for the points and to keep the points situation as relevant as possible, because there's only 3 more races in the series after this. We go to Talladega. We're gonna have next week off, we're gonna have next week off in the series, and so. We're not going to be here. We're not going to be here for that. But then, in terms of future races, Sam, you've only got October 17th at Talladega, October 24th at Martinsville, and then Halloween night we're going to end it at Phoenix, and that's it. So you need to.
Yeah, we're narrowing this thing down. We're getting down to the very end of a very competitive and long season, and these drivers have got a lot of bragging rights and a championship to battle for.
Yes, they do. At the end of it, Sam, I was looking at the schedule for Xfinity and trucks. You and I will have called 58 races together.
I'm sorry that you had to put up with me, Mark. I'm sorry.
Not true, but it's all over October 31st, and we get to take a break. And that's something that we've been kind of talking. We welcome, but at the same time, for the channel's sake, we're kind of thinking about what am I gonna do 2 nights a week other than rest and relax and give my wife trouble. She's probably gonna call Gary and say, "Can't you give that boy something to do on Thursday and Friday nights? Get him out of my hair." He won't leave me alone. Put him to work, right?
Well, speaking of work, Billy Elwell, as I said earlier, Billy Elwell has now made his way up into the 7th spot as he's gotten around the David Dunwoody machine. And so Billy Elwell, who early on in the event lost a lap, has managed to get back on the lead lap and into the 7th spot. So just a great night for Billy Elwell to stick it out and persevere over the long course of this event.
It is, and that's big not only for Billy Elwell, it's also big for David Dunwoody. Dunwoody is one of those playoff trucks.
Yeah, I mean those are playoff points that
he needs
there.
Yeah, that he needs. We are closing in on the end of this one. We're going to get 9 laps to go this next time that Ryan O'Donoghue passes through. We do want to thank everybody for sticking with us during this race at the Roval. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1, be notified of all future iRacing broadcasts. 1391, Sam.
We're so close.
So very close to that 1400 mark, and we do thank everybody. Because without the fans in the stands, without the drivers on the tracks, this wouldn't exist. So thank you to everybody out there. But we're fixing to have a dandy of a race. Logan Edwards has now pulled right up on the back of Ryan O'Donoghue one more time.
Well, it was just a matter of time that Logan Edwards would catch back up to him. Logan Edwards is not going to quit, and he wants to vie for this win. As we saw in the second stage, he was able to drive up on Ryan O'Donoghue, but just the opportunities to pass are just so few and far between. He was really making a lot of desperate attempts to outbrake him in the chicanes, and it was costing him a lot of time on the track. Not just time on the track, but abuse to the tires as well. And it made it very difficult for him to get the drive off that he needs to get around. Ooh, Ryan O'Donoghue's really wide there. but he manages to keep the throttle in it as they go through the carousel here on the infield. So I really think that you're going to see Logan Edwards try again. He's going to try somewhere in one of these chicanes where he's going to get as close as he can, and he's going to try to make a big move and see if he can get that truck to stick. And this is his favorite spot on the racetrack, is right here at the hairpin. Big drive on the outside in hopes that he can cut the truck and get a crossover. But Ryan has done a really just fantastic job of getting a great run off the corners. He has been so smooth getting that truck up to speed off the hairpin and the chicanes.
Yes, he has. Ryan O'Donoghue continues.
Look at those rotors glow on those trucks right there. Did you see that?
I did, Sam. I did. It is worth noting that track conditions remain more or less ideal. It's 76 on the track, 79 or 76 in the air, 79 on the track. Still just a breath of wind out of the west, but nothing to really worry about for these drivers in the closing stages of this race. We're watching. If you want to see brakes glow, let's see if we can get in a little bit tighter here. And here's what Sam's talking about. You can see the rotors. That's how detailed iRacing is. You can see the rotors on these cars glow. It looks really weird when you see like Formula One cars do it. But, you know, we're used to seeing stock cars glow rotors, right, Sam?
Right. Yep. We sure are. And that orange heated metal that's inside of the wheel itself. Logan Edwards again with looking for this crossover move in the hairpin.
Yes, he is. Logan Edwards, he can't quite get there, Sam. He wants to.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but now what we were just talking about Billy Elwell earning that 7th spot, and now David Dunwoody has caught him again and got around Billy Elwell, and now these drivers in 8th, 9th, and 10th.
They're all right together.
They are. They're right there together battling for these positions.
And that is big for Dunwoody because, again, that is a playoff truck. He wants those positions.
Oh, he swings it wide there, coming on to the hairpin, and Billy Elwell drops it around him again. Oh, and Billy Elwell locks it up and goes too wide.
Billy Elwell just overshot that corner. Elwell is going to lose 2 spots. Dunwoody is going to go past, as is Colby Pierce. So move Dunwoody to 7th, Colby Pierce to 8th. Elwell falls back to 9th. Now, he had a pretty big pace advantage over those two for most of the race.
It was so cool to watch that race going on in the hairpin, and just as they were battling it out in the hairpin, you could see Ryan O'Donoghue and Logan Edwards come into the screen through turn one.
Well, we're going to put it back on the screen
because they are going at it. They are really Logan Edwards. Everything. This
Whoa!
Time, he gets inside as Ryan O'Donoghue loses it.
Ryan O'Donoghue lights up the rear tires coming off the turn 7 hairpin. They go through 8 and 9, 1 and 2 on the oval, and we have a new leader. It's the old narc brain, Logan Edwards, as the rotors glow as they head into they head into the backstretch chicane. It is worth noting, Sam, that if you're a driver in the service, you can tell a lot about how somebody's driving their car based on how and where and when those rotors glow.
Oh, Ryan O'Donoghue really close this time.
Yes, he is.
So much curbing there for Logan Edwards, and now he's going to lose momentum, and Ryan O'Donoghue gets on the inside as they go into turn 1. He'll have the preferred line.
But he's not going to have
Logan Edwards can hold this position, he'll be on the preferred line going through the carousel.
But he can't hold it. Ryan O'Donoghue squeezed him up next to that wall just enough for O'Donoghue to make Edwards back out just a little bit. Logan Edwards goes back to second. Ryan O'Donoghue clears for the lead, but something tells me this is not done, Sam.
Not even close. Can you imagine how many laps in this race Logan Edwards was waiting for Ryan O'Donoghue to make some kind of hiccup? And right here in the hairpin is where Logan has been incredibly strong. Oh, he bumps into the back of O'Donoghue this time. And O'Donoghue, the last lap, he got so squirrely coming off that corner, and now that just opened up the door for him to get a little bit of a breathing gap between he and the 49 truck. Wow, these drivers, it may be a small field, but it's not small in the excitement tonight.
No, it's not. And we're going to keep it right here with 6 laps to go, coming to get 5 to go. Ryan O'Donohue leads Logan Edwards. Matt Sisler and Skindale Paul, they are 6 and 8 seconds back, respectively, 6 and 9 seconds back. That battle has separated. Justin Osterman and James Hodgson have caught Kendale Paul, by the way, and so they are duking it out. David Dunwoody and Colby Pierce have cleared Billy Elwell, so Elwell will move back to 9th. Liam Anderson is 10th. Jeremy Dunwoody has parked the number 99, and so
Jeremy he's probably made up all the positions that he could possibly make up.
Yeah, I was going to say he can't go any further up the order, so he might as well.
Right. Big run for Logan Edwards. Oh, he's sideways on entry there. Oh, by now the tires on these trucks
are
gone. Extremely used up.
Yeah, they're gone. Not only that,
in the words of Mark Murphy, they are shredded. These two drivers are pushing these trucks for everything that they can get out of them. The benefit to this is, in Logan Edwards' case, is that he is one that can drive his truck in so much deeper, which really would not affect the tires as much, whereas Ryan O'Donohue has been able to drive off the corner much better, which means he is probably using up more rear tire. And so the balance between these two drivers' approach to this race has kept them this close, nose to tail, lap after lap, from the second stage to this point. What a show these two drivers are putting on.
Yeah, they're racing in another dimension right now, Sam. Ryan O'Donohue has pulled back to about a half a second lead over Logan Edwards. Everything else is status quo throughout the field, and again, we're going to keep it right here. It is worth noting Colby Pierce has made it past David Dunwoody. These two are still battling, and it's interesting to me that would go on. They are good friends. They are in the same Discord. Pierce is Pierce is not in the playoffs, and David Dunwoody is, and so you would think maybe that they would be kind of, hey, let me have the spot so I can score the points. But all their battling has done is let Billy Elwell back into the discussion. And at one point, Elwell had made it through there as he looks to the inside of Colby Pierce, and Liam Anderson's not that far behind them as well. But the real story is at the front of this thing. Logan Edwards all over the back of Ryan O'Donohue one more time.
Oh, man. After 200 and some odd miles of racing, you've got two drivers who are still this close together at the end of this event, vying for the victory. And we haven't seen Logan Edwards too much over the course of the last few races, but boy, when he shows up with a lot of attention. As he's not going to be done unless he tries to go for the win here tonight.
He is not.
Now he's been really fast the last couple of laps through the carousel here, and he's made a couple of bold moves. And again, he was looking to try and make some kind of aggressive move this time. But he wants to set up his strongest point on this racetrack is right through here and getting into the hairpin. And Ryan has done a really great job of holding him up. Look at the truck get a little bit out of shape there under braking. And Ryan has done a great job, except for one occasion where the truck got a little bit loose on him. He's done a great job of keeping Logan Edwards behind him right there through that. Yeah, through that hairpin. It's really, really good racing.
Yeah, he's done a wonderful job of covering. Is what it's called in road racing. He's done a wonderful job of covering that inside line so that Edwards, even though he might be a little bit faster through there, Ryan O'Donohue is going to force him to take the long way around. And there's absolutely not a doggone thing wrong with that. That's not blocking. that is just good, hard-nosed,
He is
smart
entitled
racing.
to run that race line. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
He's entitled to that. Now we're going to get the 2 to go this time by.
Yeah, he's entitled to run whatever line he likes. Now he can't move in reaction to Edwards. So in other words, if Edwards gets a run going one direction or the other, Rhino Donahue can't proactively move to block it.
Yeah, that's blatant blocking is what that is.
But he can, Sam. He can choose what line he would like to run, and he is most certainly going to force Logan Edwards to take the non-preferred way around that part of the course, because it is, again, probably the best passing zone we have here at Charlotte. And there he goes.
Edwards is deep this time. He's going to get judgment was the better discretion there, and he decided not to take the leader out. He had every opportunity to really push Rhino Donahue out of the way that time by. But he did not do that.
Yes, sir. And to be fair, and let's be completely fair and honest about it, Logan Edwards is a very, very, very smart driver, and he knows the situation here. I don't think he's going to lay the bumper to Rhino Donahue, who's in the middle of a championship fight, to win a race that, it's nice to win the race, but he's not going to take out the championship leader either. You know what I mean?
Another big dive. He's going inside. He's losing the back of the truck, and he's lost it. He's so out of control.
Logan Edwards.
Final lap. White flag is out. Rhino Donahue, big lead now.
To be fair, we just watched Logan Edwards spin that truck out to avoid hitting Rhino Donahue.
That's true. That's true.
And so hats off to Logan Edwards. He's going to run second here today. But my hat's off to him for the sportsmanship there. He could have very easily used 8 tires better than 4, wrecked the leader, and won the race. And he chose to spin that truck out. And so kudos to Logan Edwards. Rhino Donahue, though, the number 14, is going to come around, and he is well on his way, barring any sort of a catastrophe. He is well on his way to a win here tonight in the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Truck Series. One more time through.
And look who has worked their way up to 4th spot.
Mr. Excitement.
Justin Osterman has gotten around James Hodgson and Kendall Paul.
He has indeed. And we see that Rhino Donahue, though, he's through the backstretch chicane. He's only got one more chicane this weekend to go, Sam. Just one more chicane for Rhino Donahue. Unless he runs the Petite Le Mans tomorrow, then he'll have a
Here we go. Rhino Donahue coming by for the checker flag.
Yes, he does. And as is the custom here at P1, we'll wait for everybody to cross under that checkered flag. There's Matt Sizzler. He's going to bring it home third, waiting on Justin Osterman, Kendall Paul, and James Hodgson. They are coming through the chicane for their final tour this weekend, and it's going to be a minute, Sam. Barney is going to have to give that arm a rest, because Colby Pierce is 43 seconds behind this group.
Wow, that was what a show that those two drivers put on, Logan Edwards and Rhino Donahue. I can't even begin to tell you, after a long race like that, just how impressive it really was to watch those two drivers going at it.
Most certainly so. Still awaiting Colby Pierce. There they come. So here comes Pierce and David Dunwoody. They're making their way through the final corners. Billy Elwell is in close attendance there. And then we're going to have about another 10 seconds for Liam Anderson. There's Dunwoody. There's Elwell. And here comes Liam. And so that will end the Queen City 250 here at the Charlotte Roval. That was fun, Sam.
I'm telling you, I don't know that people understand that if you're involved in this hobby and you race online racing and sim racing, if you have adequate equipment, say a nice direct drive wheel or something like that. And some drivers are very adamant about using a significant amount of force feedback in those, and what that is for those that might be watching the broadcast, it's just it's the input that is given to the wheel to make it feel realistic. A direct drive wheel and with high force feedback can really cause you to use a lot of muscle to move a steering wheel around, just like it would in a real vehicle, a real race car. And because of the condition of this racetrack, the bumpiness and the nature of the cars and the trucks that we race here, if you have your force feedback set really high, a race like this, 67 laps on a bumpy, tight, turn field, competitive road course like the Roval, it can be incredibly tiring for these drivers by the end of the event. So for them to race, the drivers that race in this race and race at that competitive level for as long as they've been going tonight, it can take a toll on you, because you'll get sore and you'll get tired easily.
Yes, indeed. There was an update to ATVO, and so my results screen is not working. Ryan O'Donohue is your winner. Logan Edwards second. Matt Sisler third. Justin Osterman, Kendall Paul will round out your top five. James Hodson, Colby Pierce, David Dunwoody, Billy Elwell, Liam Anderson are the remaining finishers, and your top 10. Jeremy Dunwoody, Chuck Sweeting, Lewis Hayes, and Jalen Story are the remaining entries that did not finish. And Sam, whew.
You can't say it was a completely boring race. I mean, because really even in the last stage, there was a lot of battles going on, and who would have thought Justin Osterman would have got around the likes of Kendall Paul and James Hodgson there in the closing laps to get his fourth place finish at a road course. And so just a great finish for him. Matt Stifler once again showing, and we'll talk to him in just a moment, his prowess as well.
Well, how about not just a moment? How about now? Matt Sisler, you've got Murph, you've got Sam Crow in the P1 broadcasting booth. Another run to a podium, my friend. Redemption after last night?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the checkered flag, but it definitely is. I didn't spin, didn't throw something away. You know, we tried a couple different things in our Three Birdies Tundra tonight. Obviously, stage one pitting early, got the lead, and I didn't get the restart I wanted, and then somehow we were second for the final restart, and I thought about trying to move Ryan. He was the class of the field, and the only way I think I was going to get him would have been like in the first lap. But yeah, I did all I could do, and at the end of the day, that's all we can do is all we can do, and come home third. Didn't, like I said, didn't make any mistakes, didn't put a foot wrong. We just didn't quite have the speed of Ryan or Logan. Those guys were insanely fast. So.
Matt, another great showing tonight. What do you think that you probably needed to keep up with the likes of Ryan and Logan? Did you feel like in that first run that you were using up a little more truck than you wanted to?
Honestly, probably not really. Probably at the start of stage 3 where I was really pushing to stay with Ryan and Logan, trying to keep Logan behind me. So if I saw an opportunity to make a run at Ryan, I could have, thrown the truck in there. It was really more stage 3 was where I felt like I used up my tires too much, fell back to Kendall, and then, I had to play defense from him. And stage 1 was really more just trying to feel out the truck and see what speed we had. And, it was all along that was the strategy, was to pit from wherever we were. If we weren't in the lead, I was going to come in and try to get the undercut on the strategy. And it worked. It only worked for about 3 turns before Ryan got back past me.
There was a spirited time there where Logan Edwards was behind you, and he was making some concerted efforts to really get around you, and eventually you relinquished this position. But what's going through your mind when you got someone with the speed of Logan Edwards, and he's making these bold moves? What's going through your mind?
don't take me out. I have. That's the first time I think I've raced Logan in AMA. So I've never raced him before. I knew he was quick, but there are people who are quick and then weapons. But his credit, he's not. But at the same time, when you're throwing moves in there like that, or when you're seeing somebody throw moves in there like that, excuse me, it's always okay, but please don't take me out. Because, if he's alongside you, he's got the right to take the shot at you. But you're just concerned that, if he gets into you, you're going to end up backwards in the wall, especially right at that hairpin. He did that to me at least twice.
Yeah.
And that would have been so easy if he hit me right there to have our truck come around and back in the wall. And, give him credit. He was really fast. I thought he was going to get Ryan for sure on the final run.
Well, man, I don't want to miss an opportunity here to these races. The last 2 nights have been kind of heartfelt for you. Would you like to share a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the name rail on the passenger side of our Chevy ZL1 last night and our Toyota Tundra TRD Pro tonight was from my Uncle Gabe. Known to family as Uncle Mick. Unfortunately, he passed away on Monday, and really was trying hard last night to get the win and get that. And I don't know what happened with Greg and myself. I feel like I locked up trying to stop Greg, and he spun too, and that one stung. But tonight I feel like we did him service. I did everything I could do, and if you do everything you can do, and this is the P3 is the best you're gonna get, then I can walk away with with my head held high, and everybody at our team can walk away with their heads held high, knowing we did everything we could to try to win this for him, and we brought home a clean race truck and didn't cause too much chaos. So we'll take that, and we'll go to next week.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Matt, tonight. As always, you stand on the podium, you get the mic. Friends, family, sponsor, shout outs. The floor is yours, sir.
I appreciate it, Mark. Obviously, to everybody on my uncle's side of the family, for just all thoughts and prayers to them for what they're going through right now. They had the funeral today, and that it's hard to have that, everybody, especially because his baby brother, my dad, passed away in February. So it's been rocked a couple of times this year. So all the thoughts with them and thoughts and prayers for them as well. For all the thoughts and prayers with them. Obviously, Three Birdies Golf Company, awesome sponsor, allows me to come out here and do this week in and week out. Love them. They've still got their sale going on their website, threebirdiesgolf.com. Go pick yourself up a t-shirt and all that stuff. They got awesome hats, koozies like I have on my drink. Tonight, free shipping, all orders are over 100 at threebirdiesgolf.com. Celsius for the quick energy. Tonight's flavor was kiwi strawberry, and I'd recommend that. And it's not a paid sponsor. I just like it. Although if they want to throw money, give my contact information. Adrian College, my alma mater on the B-Rail. Peace, Love, and Pause Rescue out of Southeast Michigan. At Kendale and everybody at AMA for putting on this awesome league. And last but not least, you guys at P1 Broadcasting for putting together awesome broadcasts. You guys do a terrific job.
Well, thank you so much for joining us in the booth, Matt. Thank you so much for everything you do, and thank you for being here. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy, and we will see you at the next one.
Sounds good, guys. You take care. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That is Matt Sizzler. Next up, the second place finisher, and it wasn't for effort. Logan Edwards, you've got Murph, you've got Sam in the P1 Broadcasting booth. Tell us what you needed to get by Ryan O'Donohue and make it stick.
Well, I think the root of all my problems was the pit stop at stage 2. Somehow, some way, this crew, I got to replace them all, have lost me a position in pit road on a road course that have made my life a lot more miserable. I just needed a confidence. I haven't driven this truck since the last time I was here, and had a lot of trouble braking, which I usually don't. I usually bank on my ability to brake.
I was on the other side of the fence, Logan. I felt like, as far as braking goes, you were head and shoulders above most of the other drivers as far as your ability to how deep you could drive the truck into the corners. It seemed like that was really the stronger point of your racing tonight, was to close so much time and gap because of your ability to do so. And then Ryan was able just to run, as Mark was saying in the broadcast, he was able to cover you with his line because he was getting such a great run off. But I thought your braking was, except for the times that you really had to push the issue to try and make a pass, most of the time it was what was giving you your fast laps for most of the night.
Yeah, I use heel and toe, which lets me bypass the wheel hop that comes with these cars. But every time I was in a situation where the pressure was on, I went too deep, went over curbs, lost all my exit speed, and got repassed.
Did you feel like the passing was really at a premium just tonight simply because of the layout of the racetrack?
Yeah, it was better than definitely better than the layout it's replacing. I think that's a little bit of an unpopular opinion amongst iRacers, but I think it's a lot easier to race here.
Oh, do you really? You're right. There may be an argumentative point with a lot of racers in the sim to say that this is a good place to race.
Yeah. Well, compared to any other road course, it's give or take, but compared to the old Charlotte Roval, definitely.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. Before I throw it to you for your shout outs, I wanted to give you a shout out. There were a couple of times there in the last couple of laps where you could have easily let the foot off the brake and let the front end of your truck hit the back of Ryan O'Donoghue's. And in particular, on the last lap, I'm pretty sure you spun the car on purpose to not hit him. So I wanted my hats off to you, Logan, for your sportsmanship. You and your Luke Mansky team are always race others with a large amount of respect, and so I wanted to tip my hat to you for that as well. But with that, friends, family, shout outs, and sponsorships from you, sir.
Well, thanks to Luke Mansky Racing Esports, Caleb for sort of playing a sort of spotter for me tonight. He's mostly just cracking jokes.
No, don't worry about that. He was making fun of me in the chat too, dude.
Yeah, I was getting a radio into that during the race. It was quite amusing. Thanks to iPredictor for sponsoring us, and as you said before, me trying to be respectful and not wrecking people is every time I'm in a situation like that, I just see your teammate Seb, and the amount of times I've caused him grief over the last couple road courses I've been with him.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's to be fair, I mean, it's always refreshing to see somebody show that level of sportsmanship, and because you don't see that very often in the sim, and so definitely it was appreciated and applauded on our end, Logan. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy. We'll see you up in Victory Circle soon enough.
All right, see ya.
Yes, sir.
Great job, Logan.
That is Logan Edwards. He is second tonight, and for the winner, the man of the hour, and the one that Mike Rigney wants to hear from the most, it is Ryan O'Donoghue. Ryan, you've got Murph, you've got Sam in the P1 broadcasting booth. You put some pink on the truck. You atoned for last night, and you now have staked yourself to a pretty large lead in the points with 3 races remaining. You also don't have to worry about Talladega, which is big.
Holy cow! How about that one, boys?
You mean you wanted to go to Talladega, having to race your way into the final race?
Oh no, not at all. Or Martinsville. But no, I did not like this track last night. I did not like this track this afternoon. But I don't know. I've got indifferent now.
So Sam, chalk up another driver that doesn't like chicanes. Maybe we should form a secret society. Sam, what do you have for the winner this evening?
Ryan, you did such a masterful job. There's no question that you have speed and you have the ability to be a front runner in this series. And really, with Chad Dulabon, Chad Winstead, and several other drivers befalling to either not showing up or having bad nights tonight, it really puts you in a prominent position for this AMA title. However, tonight, with someone like Logan Edwards, and you're running lap after lap after lap, knowing that he's going to close that gap and make those big runs on you. Well, what was your attempt at trying? I know I heard you after the race. You apologized to him and you said, Logan, I'm sorry for the blocks, but I had to do what I had to do. But do you really feel like you were blocking, or do you really just feel like you were just running your line and just kind of cut, just making sure that he did not get runs in particular places like the hairpin?
Yeah, I think the latter, actually. It was less blocking. It was more backing up, going up over the hill, right, and backing up towards the hairpin, and just, it was a little bit of looking in the mirror and seeing where the run's coming from. But if you block that inside, I mean, it's hard to get around, right? I made it work a couple of times, and he never was able to pull up alongside me. Except for when he crossed me over and I spun the tires. And then
out of the hairpin, yeah.
Yeah, and then I definitely didn't want to wreck him either. I know he's not in the playoffs or anything, but we needed this win bad. And I definitely tried to scare him going into the last chicane there, and I think it worked a little bit, and we put our foot on the floor.
He drove it in a little deep. For sure. I was telling Logan, I don't know that anyone else in the race could touch his entry speed. His braking was phenomenal tonight. It was amazing how deep he could get that truck into a corner. But on the same token, throughout the night, I was noticing how you were able to get back into the throttle more crisp and clean and get just better runs off than anyone else tonight. Do you care to share your secret on that?
Well, I think it's kind of Logan's secret, right? I think this has been a product of the whole year. The win at Watkins Glen really helped boost our confidence with stuff like that, following guys like that and backing up entries and getting a run off. And then last night was really the catalyst of it. I think I just roasted the rear tires off the thing the whole race, right? And we had that one lap speed you guys were talking about, and I really tried to make sure tonight that it was run those consistent laps like everybody said last night. Just run the same lap every lap, and I never really put a foot wrong. I hit all my marks, kept the rear tires under it, and I knew we had a little bit of a long run car there after the first stage, and then Matty threw me a curveball there, staying out. But yeah, it was weird too. We were just talking.
Well, actually, he pitted early. He pitted before the end of the stage. Is how he was able to make that up. He was trying to make up track position based on pitting before the pits closed.
Right. Well, it was weird anyway because we started on the outside, off the initial green, and then we started on the outside on that restart, and then we're the leader, and I'm starting on the inside, and you were able to hang a quarter panel into one, and if you made it through two, okay. You were in position into the carousel. So when I started on the inside, it was it's a little nerve-wracking, actually. I would have preferred to start on the outside the way it was going.
Well, Mr. Points Leader, what can we expect from Ryan O'Donohue for the remainder of this year? You got three races left.
Yeah, I think
race.
I think we'll have some fun in Talladega. Martinsville's going to be a fun one too, and we're just going to put all the chips into Phoenix here in this series, and we ran good there in the spring, and really like the track. It's one of those rhythm racetracks that suits me. Just gotta really focus on what could happen there, right? Like different scenarios if we get in a certain situation, and then look at who we got to race, and glad to be the first one in. I'm ready to race for a championship.
It sounds like you're excited, man. We're excited for you.
We're ready to.
Oh yeah, the beer's cold.
we're ready to.
That makes Mark happy.
Yeah, we're ready to see you do it. Before we do though, you got to get out of here. Friends, family, sponsor, shout outs. The floor is yours.
Yeah, girlfriend was sitting here as always, Bridget, and she thanked Logan too for racing like a gentleman, and I did the same thing.
Yeah, he spun that thing out, man, to not hit you, and I called it out, and that's.
I knew who we were racing though. Like I know he's not that type of guy we were talking before too, and just appreciate them guys, Logan and Matt too, just running us clean and knowing the situation. But everybody else too, Master Go Spy. Got the paint gun here for breast cancer. Maxima Racing Oils, Heatwave, Visual, AMA. Man, I can't say enough about this league, dude. It's such a fun time. Kendall, all the admins. Archway Industrial Coatings, Black Magic Studios, Trak Racer, Rogue Energy, Admin Box, all their sponsors, everybody that put something into this. P1 Broadcasting. Mark and Sam, always like talking to you guys. I hope everybody enjoyed that one. I hope we put on a show.
Most certainly did, my friend.
You did put on a show. Thank you.
Most certainly did, my friend. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy, and we'll see you at the next one.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you.
You too,
Yes,
my
sir.
friend.
That is Ryan O'Donohue. He's going to get out of here as the winner. And Sam, the more things change, the more things stay the same, except this time it's Ryan O'Donohue bringing home the trophy.
It sure is, and he's saving the best for last in this season. He's been fast and consistent all year long, but he is really starting to pour on the heat on this field and on these competitors here in the AMA Archway Industrial Coatings Series. I mean, he really is the class of the field right now.
You know, he most certainly is. Do want to thank everybody who tuned it in. If you haven't already done so, make sure you smash the like button on the video or ring the bell, subscribe to P1 so that you can be notified of all future iRacing events here on the network. We've got a full slate planned for you. Tomorrow's an off day, but there is a racing that will occur every day beginning Sunday night at 8 o'clock with the Dark Horse DW12 finale from Indianapolis. We do want to thank all the fans that tuned it in tonight, as well as all of the. We do want to thank all the fans that tuned it in, as well as all the competitors. But we really want to thank the people that make it possible, and I mean really possible: the military, the police, the firemen, the EMTs that drive the ambulance, Sam, and the nurse that unloads you when you get there. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. Sam, undo the belts. Go drink some pickle juice. We'll see you at the next one.
Pickle juice.